What's up, everyone? This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 191 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG! Wow.
GG! Yes. Sounds like we have a full house once again.
Yes.
Bravo. About time.
Cold and it needs to be warmed up.
About time. He has risen. The chaos has risen.
Back from the dead. Yes.
God, yes. So those voices, of course. First off, joining us after a long hiatus is Mr. Gilberto, a.k.a. Chaos Reaper. So what is up, sir?
Jesus Christ. What is nut up? Holy hell. I mean,
I don't want to know if you're not excited. I don't want to know.
Listen, I am just super happy to be back again. Holy shit, I've missed this. And no, I have not caught up to the latest episode, so I have no idea what is going on with you guys. So, honestly, to me, that just makes it more exciting, you know? Because I am not ready for anything of what you guys are going to say.
Oh, dude, we already started a new season. Oh,
really?
Yeah. So you need to catch up, son.
I know. I mean, it's
in the season finale, you disappear. We were wondering what happened.
Really? Did I really did that? God damn! Give it to me. I mean, 2019 was a horrible year.
But I'm so glad. I am very happy to hear your voice again, and of course, it is so overwhelmingly good to have you. To have the full crew now.
Yes.
That's the reason why our voices sound so shitty now on the recording.
Speak for yourself, man, because Mr. Chaos Reaper's voice sounds amazing.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, that's thanks to my beautiful wife, Stephanie Muniz, who actually I hadn't mentioned it. I don't think I had mentioned it at all about getting a new mic, and I went home last week and she surprised me with it.
Nice.
She said, like, "Oh, you want to open one of your presents?" I was like, "No, it's a Christmas present. Let's just wait. What is wrong with you?" And like, no, but I want you to have it. Yeah, pretty much. Like here, you need it. And I saw it and like, oh my God, I was so excited.
That is perfect. If I might say so, you sound as if we had a Geo, a Sparrow Wolf, talking in Dolby Atmos. Wow. That's the level of clarity and perfection that which is how you sound right now. So.
I mean, I appreciate like very much a Puerto Rican would exaggerate the shit out of something. I appreciate it. I will take the compliment and run with it.
There you go. That other voice, of course, is our very own Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister. What is up, bro?
I guess it's back to headsets for us.
Honestly, I think at this point we're just gonna have to invest in some mics, and you know what I mean.
We need to figure out a way to. Well, now it's proven that we can sound better on Skype.
Yeah,
with a different set of microphones. Whenever it's just Mad Dog and I, we have like the mixer setup and the microphones that really doesn't make us sound any better, but definitely better than this.
Than what Skype does.
Yeah. But because at least with Skype, the problem is that sometimes, and I'm sure you guys have noticed, when it kind of cut us off, especially when we start getting excited talking about all trying to talk at the same time. And
I know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I am happy that it's Friday, that we're here, that
Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday.
Thank you.
Happy
I'm
Friday.
drinking my horrible beer here. I mean, not my horrible. Actually, this one's really good.
I was gonna say, what the hell? I thought we established that this is a good one. We have a beer, very high IBU for those who don't know. IBU stands for International Bitterness Units. So this is a very high one. Earthy, to say indeed. I think I freaked out, Dream Twister.
No.
You know that I'm not a fan of IPAs, and this one might as well be bitter juice. Bitter juice.
Wow.
Yes.
I will stay clear away from that. Thank you very much.
But it is high on the alcohol content, so that's always a good thing.
How much is it?
I think it was what 8.6, 8.6. Yeah.
I could give one a shot.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Be experimental.
Yeah.
New things.
Hey man, I'm always open to new ideas.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys. Well, what we normally do first off is we go into what we have been up to, move on into some various news items, and then finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic.
Hot topic.
It's Game of the Year, guys.
Oh,
yes.
Wow.
Game of the Year. Are you guys ready? We have several we have several categories, and thank you, Mr. Chaos Reaper, for being so prepared.
Always.
I'm with you, Chaos. I still preparing my list.
Brother in arms, right here. Yes.
We need to.
I'm gonna quickly roll through the categories. We've got our top 3 game of the years, individual, of course. Worst game of the year. Biggest disappointment of 2019, biggest surprise of 2019, best old game, best character, best soundtrack, best style, and best story. And I also forgot to mention right off the top, if this is your first time listening, please go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. And of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. So we are going to start with Mr. Chaos Reaper. What in the hell have you been up to, sir?
Well, it's after handling one crisis after another, I honestly haven't had a lot of. I haven't played anything new. I did play Apex. They did have the new winter event. Oddly enough, I haven't touched Overwatch's new event at all. Really? They do have a winter event. Yeah, I just, boycotting over here. I did delete it off my PlayStation.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I'm curious. What made you do this?
Oh, this is ever since the Free Hong Kong bit, bro.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, you talk about the Blizzard. You talk about because you said you deleted your PlayStation. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. What did Sony did?
No. I deleted Overwatch off the PlayStation. So the only interaction I had with Overwatch was through my wife's account. Because she still has it on her PlayStation. I'm not making her a boycott, so.
Oh yeah, I mean that should be a personal thing. Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I've been playing some Mortal Kombat 11. The last couple of combat seasons they had, I didn't care for the reward, so I really didn't dive in. I kind of did one fight just to get the little logo that I participated, and that was it. But I am still waiting for. I think the Joker's supposed to release, or did it release already?
Oh, I'm not sure. I know that they updated the look because he no longer looks like a Pornhub Joker.
He did really look. I mean, I saw the comparison, and unless somebody doctored that picture, it was pretty spot on. It was kind of scary. Yeah, they did give him a makeover. I wouldn't say a radical makeover, but at least it looks a little bit more Jokerish now, which I don't see why they needed to. Well, I guess there's nothing wrong with trying something new, but. I don't know. Anyways, I'm still waiting for Spawn, which, again, comes out in March. Mm-hmm. Holy shit, that's still 3 months away. But, hey, closer than before. I did go back into Monster Hunter. By the way, they added a new siege. Ooh. If you guys didn't know, which, of course, you didn't because you haven't tried Iceborne. So I'm not really going to hold back here on... but I will give it a spoiler warning for the story to anybody that cares about the story in Monster Hunter for any given reason. Mm-hmm. The siege is against a new enemy called Sufi Jiva.
Okay.
Sufi Jiva?
Yes. And if you remember, the last boss of the vanilla Monster Hunter world was Sino Jiva, right? Which, and the canon of the story, it's the... early stage of him, right? He's just basically a baby dragon, pretty much, and you go ahead and kill it because that's what you do.
You kill dragons. Imagine dragons.
So Sufi Jiva is the mature version of Sino Jiva.
Okay.
And it's freaking awesome.
Dude, that's a straight up drag. I actually had to pull up a video of it so I can see. That's a freaking dragon right there, my friend.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Oh my! I mean, it is such a
Oh shit.
classical look of a dragon, but it's just
Yes.
so menacing and like God. And like, you remember if you remember, guys, Behemoth, Mad Dog fought
I
Behemoth.
do. Yes.
You remember that he had that meteor attack that blew up and killed everybody in one shot.
Yes, I hated that.
Damn.
So Sufi Diva has something similar. It's slower, so it's easier to dodge. But holy shit, the spectacle is just absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
All right,
What do they do? Like summons?
no. It's like this. It's this giant area of attack.
Mm.
All right, that one shots you if it hits you.
If you're
Wow.
in the if you happen to be in the
Yeah,
area,
and,
but
and
it's
you,
it's easy to not easy, but it can be seen before it happens, and you just kind of have to
well,
get out of there.
For Behemoth, he dropped some comments that actually stayed there, and that's what you use to dodge meteor. You hide behind the comment. For
Uh,
Sufi Jiva, there's like this natural outcrops of rocks, right? And you hide behind those, so it's actually easier. But again, you have the epic music going because obviously they're gonna go with some epic orchestra music, and then when he does the attack, there's this blue flame, right? And once you hide behind, you can just kind of like look at the whole show, and all you see is this one small blue light just coming down, and then everything goes silent. The
Mhm.
music, everything, and just like you see the light, bing, and then it's just legit like a Dragon Ball Z attack.
wow.
And he's just blow the fuck up, and it's just awesome to look at.
Wow.
And the armor that you can craft and the weapons that you get, I mean, they look amazing. Like this is why I go out and like slay some giant monsters.
Wow.
Okay.
So
All right.
that's actually been one of the highlights of my what I've done gaming wise. It's Monster Hunter World. It's just such an amazing game. Oh, I did go back into Warframe. I've been playing with some friends who just grinding for whatever. I do have to catch up. There are some things that I haven't done. Something about Kuva, some kind of like Kuva assassin or whatever. I honestly can't give you all the details because it's kind of complicated because Warframe.
Yeah.
Oh, they do have a
Because
new
Warframe, bro.
Warframe. There's a new Warframe though that's hilarious. His name is Grendel, and he has a mount in his stomach.
A
Right, so
mouth?
you can see where this is going. So one of his
I
skills
have no
is that he
idea.
actually opens its mouth and sucks in the enemies, and he gets bigger. He gets fatter. Like his belly just gets bigger. Right, and then you have various options. You can actually shoot the enemies out.
Oh shit.
Wow.
This is
Wow.
very
um,
Kirby like.
okay, yes, but just take away all the cuteness
Of
and
course, of
put all
course.
the Warframe creepiness on it, and that's basically it. And or you can actually, if you eat a lot of enemies, the bigger you get, you can actually you have an ability that he turns into a boulder and just rolls around, and you can jump and just smash everybody.
Yeah.
It's
Damn, son.
pretty freaking wild. I don't have him yet. I was thinking of buying him, but I think I'm just gonna farm him from wherever the hell I have to. But Luna has him, and he already leveled him up to 30 or whatever. I don't know if he formatted him or not, but he has a build for him, and I was seeing like do all these skills. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
Wow.
This are
That's insane.
ninjas. You're a ninja?
With a belly that eats things. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's so funny to watch. It's hysterical.
The art style of that game, it's always tripped me because I know the game is it's amazing, but I just can't pass the insect look of every character there. They're
You
like
really?
ninja insects.
You think? I mean, I always related to more to like biomechanicals because that's how it feels to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I never saw them as bugs. I mean, other than the ones that are obviously bug looking, which
Yeah.
there's a few. There's even Trinity has a skin that makes it look like a light bug.
Oh,
Which,
wow.
yeah, I think it's Trinity Prime. But I mean, it actually looks pretty cool. Don't get me wrong. But you know, like I said, some of them are very bug-like. But like you got Chroma, that's basically a dragon. His you got this armor on top of you that you can actually leave it as a sentry, and it's just basically this little wyvern that's your armor flying there, spitting fire, stunning enemies while you're still running around.
Damn.
So yeah, man, there's like very various looks, not to mention all the different skins that are available for them. I mean, at this point, this game is just freaking beautiful.
nice.
And free.
It is looking good. It really, really freaking looks good.
Yes.
I had posted a video in the group a while back of an update, and I was just looking it over, and I was like, I think it's the ships, right? Because they had the fact that they're going to bring on spaceships, you're going to be able to fly and all that.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna be
And I'm
actually be able to fly around in space.
correct, and I was just like, man, I just might need to get back into this one because it is it just I mean they are support is not it support is such a it feels like such an inappropriate word. They are just really giving you everything in this
They
game,
are
and I'm
so
like,
passionate about this game,
yeah,
and just imagine the limits that they will push once the new generation comes out.
yeah, exactly,
I
exactly.
mean, I really do. My heart Warfare will always have a special place in my heart. Seriously, this game came from being absolute garbage because I hated this game the first time I played. Like I loved the idea, but how they incorporated, I did not like it. The melee was kind of garbage, and I mean, not to mention that I was a complete noob and I had nothing, and I myself was garbage. But that's beside the point. Right now they did a lot of changes to how the melee works. Now you don't have to hold down a button to take out your sword. You just press circle and you start meleeing things. You want to go back to your gun, just shoot, and he will automatically change. You don't have to press anything else. You want to melee, you want to shoot, you just press that. You press triangle if you actually want to switch to your secondary. That's the only reason you press it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, those are changes that I appreciate. It makes the combat more fluid, more accessible, without necessarily dumbing it down.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, and now they added because they at some point they added the weapons had combos in them.
Hmm.
I can't the mod they added mods. They gave combos to the weapons, and you had to like press two times, pause, and then keep pressing, or shit like that. That's how they did it. Now they changed it. Now it's with the joystick. If you're pressing forward, you do a combo. If you leave it neutral, you do a different combo. And as far as I got, because I didn't really get into like all the details on it, because
Hmm.
I was just messing around with it, and that's all I really got out of it. But apparently, I'm hoping that I guess you push it different ways and you get different combos, which obviously makes sense. Uh Again, I don't know exactly how I feel about it because it's not like the game has a lock-on system, so it's not like you can add a combo for the back. I don't know if you have to press different directions in the middle of the combo either. Again, I didn't dive into it entirely. I know that they changed it.
Okay.
I do appreciate the one where you just press forward because I have a great sword and the combo in it. He spins like a spin top with the
Hmm.
great sword, and all I do is just wreck everything, and I can do that endlessly, mindlessly, and I mean, yeah, because it's mindless, eventually it does can get boring, but holy shit, it's just so much fun to like spin around and destroy everything. I'm fairly certain that I've watched a lot of things in the last what 2 months,
2 months, yeah.
um, and I'm sure I don't remember all of it, but I will say that I've been watching The Orville. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I'm still watching The Orville. I love this show. This show is just so good because it is a spoof on Star Trek or a
Hmm.
parody, whatever you want to call it. But it takes its themes and subjects so serious when it needs to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard
And
it was good. I started watching that show. I watched like a couple episodes. My wife wasn't too, into it, so I stopped watching. Not to mention that I was using a Hulu trial, but I liked it, man. I liked it. It was entertaining.
it is. It's so good. You get to like really feel for these characters and the stories they go through, and like they go through like some really like to them in their world, in their universe, to like some through some historic moments that you're not expecting out of what's something that's supposed to be a parody.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
It keeps subverting my expectations one time after another.
Yeah.
Right? For example, and this is not really a spoiler because it's really like the beginning of the episode,
Hmm.
but the doctor in the ship she has two kids and one of them plays the piano. He had a recital that night. So she's telling everybody not to forget about the recital because there's something else bigger going on, right?
Hmm.
So like immediately sets up this expectation of the cliche that like everybody's gonna forget or something and they're gonna do something special for it, right? That's
Hmm.
usually how that goes. No, dude, the very next scene they're all in the recital.
Oh, nice. Okay.
They're like, oh, so I guess I don't have to worry about that. Cool.
That's
But but that's the kind of thing. Like, I had those expectations and immediately select, no, this is not it. We're gonna move into something else.
We're gonna,
Something that.
yeah, it's gonna come
So
catch you off guard.
yes, and I
Yeah,
really like. I really enjoy that. The other
that's
one that I've been watching is The Mandalorian,
Oh,
or
okay.
apparently what some people call it, the Baby Yoda show.
The Baby Yoda show. Yeah.
Um,
Do you agree that it's basically the Baby Yoda show?
I mean, I
well,
mean,
I know that he was literally created just to sell toys, and the fact that everybody's like literally eating it up, it's only gonna get worse after this.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the show itself so far, I love it. Holy shit, I love this show.
Are you all caught up?
No, I
Okay.
think on episode 5, I have to watch episode 6,
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I'm close.
I think that's as far as I got. Episode 5. I have not seen past that. And honestly, it's because I got sidetracked by other stuff. Not to take away from the Mandalorian, but the other stuff just had me gripped. So I'm like, I need to go back. I need to go back, especially since we're watching Star Wars tomorrow. I really should already be caught
Oh,
up.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to watch Star Wars. So I only watched it with my wife,
Hmm.
so that's why I'm not caught up.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I did start watching the new season of Rick and Morty. But
Oh, okay.
unfortunately, I've only watched 2 episodes of it. I think they're up to. I don't know if they released all of them yet. I hope so because I can't wait for Hulu to get the goddamn episode so I can actually binge watch the shit out of it.
Mm.
I gotta hope. I believe that's it for now. As far as I can remember. Oh no, yeah, no, yes. I watched a movie. This one
Did you or
matters.
did you not?
I watched a movie. Yes, I
Okay.
watched The Irishman.
Oh, there you go. That's what
Oh,
I'm talking about. What did you
Yes, how
think,
could I
sir?
forget? Love the movie. Absolutely love the
yes.
movie. The first hour and a half where they have this DH De Niro was a little bit jarring. I'm not gonna lie. It was easy to. It stuck out.
Hmm.
It,
Oh,
and it
yeah, yeah.
was
He's playing a
especially
kid, and he's not really a kid.
yeah. It was especially the eyes. And every time they did a close up, the eyes just looked off. And that's just the thing about when you do animation like this. If you can't get the eyes right, then people are gonna like immediately pick up on it
Yeah.
because it
Yep.
just looks unnatural. It's
Yep.
like when you do a
Yeah.
walking animation to simulate a human, it's super difficult because if it's off by a little bit, like it doesn't matter how many gates you watch in your entire life. If you make a wrong walking animation, you're gonna pick it up because it just looks weird.
Hmm.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order says hi.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
the walk I love that game. That game is great, but the walking animation on that is just weird. It's
Oh,
just,
see,
but
see what
I
I'm
completely
saying?
understand what you're saying about the eyes. I completely understand because I mean that's literally what the Uncanny Valley is about. You know,
Yeah.
where you can't get the natural. I was gonna say the naturality, if that's even a word, but like
I don't think so, but
if yeah, if you can't get that to look at as close to
that natural look, I'm gonna go with that because
yeah,
I don't know
it
how else to
just
put it into words.
it just makes it almost creepy
Yeah,
looking,
it really
like
does
dull.
because they look like glassy and like, dude, are you okay?
That uncanny valley, yeah.
It didn't bother
Yeah.
me much at all on that movie. I gotta say, it didn't bother me that much. But then again, I don't like I love all the actors on it, but it's
Oh
not something
God.
that
So
I'm like that I ingrained in my mind. Oh, he looked like this in this movie. How could he look like this in this movie? Like it didn't bother me that much when I saw.
oh well, like I said, it was a little bit jarring, but I got over it because
Yeah,
the movie is just that good. And at some point, like you don't care. You're eventually gonna see everybody in their natural selves. Fuck it. Don't worry about it. It'll happen.
yeah,
Just get over it. So I pushed through it, and I absolutely. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I felt it was never going to end.
yes.
Yeah.
Every time I thought it was close
Yeah.
to the end, I check like, holy shit, there's an hour and 20 minutes left.
Yeah, if it like that, they could have actually done a little bit of better editing right at the end, I would say. Not to say anything bad about the end, because it was good, and obviously we're not gonna spoil anything. But it just it felt like it went for a little too long after the movie actually climaxed and
It,
concluded. You know.
yeah, it wanted to beat Return of the King, so how many endings it could have.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
regardless of anything, of everything, it's an amazing movie. I love the cast. I love that chemistry that you just saw in the screen. It was just so good. Oh, I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I believe that that's about it. That's what I've done for the past forever.
Thank you so much, Chaos. Mister
The Ballad
Dreamy.
of Chaos Reaper.
The Ballad of Chaos Reaper.
Yes.
By the way, Ballad of Buster Scruggs, guys. You need to watch this. It's on
Okay.
Netflix. It's very good. Mister Dreamy Twister.
Yes,
Dreamy
sir.
Dave. Talk
Dreamy.
to us. What have you been doing, sir?
I have not played a lot, believe it or not. After I finished last week with Star Wars Jedi Knight, of which you can listen to that week's podcast for my opinion and of it, my semi review of it. You know, overall it was really good. But I took a little bit of hiatus, gaming wise, and then it was like 3 or 4 days, and then when I came back to it, I decided to go to go back where I left the Outer Worlds.
Oh, okay.
It was a little difficult at first to like try to determine where I was, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but luckily it wasn't that bad to where I feel lost. And you know, obviously that game it's not a complex game that will take the story wise you could get lost a little bit, you know. But thankfully I wasn't it wasn't that long ago that I stopped playing. But the gameplay elements of it, at least I was able to easily go, you know, get back on track and go to that, you know, planet that I need to go. And I can say I feel like I'm close to the end.
Okay.
But I'm not in a particular hurry to finish it just yet. So like yesterday, I didn't play that because I was feeling I had an appetite for something different, but not a different game altogether, not a new game, you know, altogether. Just like an arcade, something arcadey,
Mm-hmm.
you know, something fun, you know, like an old school shooter or a racing or whatever. So I saw the Steam sale started, and a game called Dusk.
And it immediately attacked your wallet.
Yes, it immediately. Actually, I was able to see. I'm almost immune right now because everything, everything that I could that I wanted out of Steam sales, I pretty much have gotten somehow. So it can't abuse me anymore because I'm all battered and defeated already.
Oh my god! Somehow,
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah. But I saw that game that I was waiting for a while to go on sale because because he never did. It was a $20 title, so it's not like it was you know, it's an expensive game or anything like that. And it is an homage to old school PC shooters. But this one geared more towards Quake, the original Quake game.
Okay.
That original engine,
What
which
was the name?
was it's Dusk.
Dust. Okay.
Dusk.
Oh, Dusk. Oh, okay. I
Dusk,
got you.
yeah. And so it has very low poly look
Mm-hmm.
of like 1990s era
Mm-hmm.
3D when the first 3D the real 3D games were coming out. You could almost compare it to like Nintendo 64, you know, type of graphics almost. And it is like the theme of it is right up your alley, Chaos, because it's that dark, you know, that imagine this.
it's edgy.
It's very, yeah, it's very edgy. Um, you had those like the first weapon that you grab. Imagine the first weapon that you
The
grab is a
site.
pair of sights. Yes,
Oh
two of them,
yes.
two of them.
Uh,
And then you're battling these fools that looks like like low poly versions of remember the enemy from Resident Evil 4 that
The
had
chainsaw guy.
the
Yeah.
chainsaw guys
my God,
with
yeah.
yeah, those those guys. That's the first thing you start attacking, and then you get weapons and
I'm
stuff
sorry
like
to,
that.
to interrupt you, but is this like a 2D game?
It's a
No, no,
3D.
this
No, it's
no,
3D.
three.
It's
Oh,
first
okay.
person. Yeah, it's a
It's
first person shooter.
it's only on PC though, right?
It's only on PC right now. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. There's a problem with it though.
Uh-oh.
on PC.
Microtransactions.
No. It has no. It has nothing. This is an indie title actually, and you can tell by the look of it that they really like that era of very early Quake game, and Nintendo 64 look.
Yeah.
Oh,
The game
oh,
is ridiculously fast. Also, uh,
really?
it's one of those run and gun. You're not. There's no strategy. You just go at it, go at it, go at it. I mean, at the end, it does the same thing that the original Doom does, where it shows you like a part time that you were supposed to beat the level,
Hmm.
and then the time it took you to beat the level, and you can find secrets, but there's no loot or anything like that. It's dude, it's just run and gun,
Run
a
and gun and
bunch
kill
of
everything.
enemies at the same time. Obviously, the first level, which I believe it's there's not that many enemies, but on the later levels, you can actually see that it's meant to like throw enemies at you, and you're supposed to run backwards and shoot. It's
Oh wow.
those type of games.
Okay.
Like I said, there is a problem.
Oh boy.
And the problem is that this game makes me nauseous.
Wow,
Wow.
really?
And I don't mean nauseous with the level of like, with the level of like gore or anything like that, because yes, it's supposed to be that edgy, but it's not. Obviously, it's super low poly
It,
graphics.
it's
So
just how fast you're
you know,
moving.
it's just how fast you're moving on it. I think they went a little bit too far on the running,
Hmm.
where it's not fun. It's not fun. If they would have achieved that, if they would have stuck a little bit closer to the speed of the original Quake game,
Or Doom.
or Doom. Yeah, Doom was a little bit faster,
Hmm.
but it was for the type of graphic that game was throwing, which was on the build engine. Which actually there was a game that was released recently, which I really really liked. Ion Fury.
Hmm. Yeah.
That game's phenomenal, and that is a more faithful homage to Doom than Dusk is to Quake. I feel like. I feel like they went a little bit out of control with the speed of the game, and that's how you feel playing it. You feel like almost out of control. Whether with Iron Fury, the game is it's a lot more faithful recreation of those old style games. Like I would say a little bit more Duke Nukem than
Hmm.
actually a lot more Duke Nukem
Yeah.
than Doom itself, and that it was awesome, dude. I was playing that game. I was hooked. I played several levels. At one point I forgot that I owned that game, and then when I remember, I wanted to go back, but I was playing. I think I was playing Death Stranding, because I wanted to go back to the game because that is just pure fun. The shooting on it, it feels like those old school games from the early era of PC gaming. You know, so but that was it. I couldn't play Dusk anymore, and at the end of the day, I noticed that I had played less than 2 hours of it.
Hmm.
So I asked Steam to reimburse me for it. So I was like, okay. I see what you guys were
Fuck
going
this
for.
shit.
But
I'm
I'm
out.
out. I'm out. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, unfortunately, that was that as far as my gaming. Um, I did watch a movie. I watched a couple of movies actually, but one in particular, Magda, you'll be very happy to hear. Overlord.
Yes.
It didn't say
Overlord. Yes.
Chaos and Mad Dog, so I figured it wasn't Pulp Fiction.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah,
true.
exactly,
True.
exactly. I was going for yeah, but then for I didn't know you had seen Overlord, and B, if I would have said to both of you, then yeah, it would have gotten your hopes up.
My heart would have stopped for a second.
Yeah, I know, yeah, yeah. But I did see Overlord. That movie's crazy.
I told you, right?
That movie was fun. I'm not gonna lie.
That's exactly
It's
my words.
yeah,
Fun.
it's fun. It's not like it's phenomenal, like the greatest movie or anything like that. It's just it's a fun movie to watch, for the subject matter of it. It takes place during uh uh the Allied invasion or sorry, the Allied when they were trying to rescue France from the Nazis,
Hmm.
basically,
It
and
was right before D-Day.
right before D-Day, exactly. The mission that they have to the mission what they have to do, but more than that, it was what they encounter is what actually makes the movie. And I'm not gonna spoil or anything like that. You told me not to watch, not even to watch a trailer or anything like that, just to
Go in
uh,
blind. Yep.
go
Go.
in blind.
Is this on
And
Netflix?
It's
it's on
on.
Netflix.
It is on Netflix. It's also on Hulu if you happen to have Hulu. Yes.
I do.
Yeah, yeah,
I actually have both, but all right. I'm gonna make an effort. I'm gonna make an
Yeah.
effort to watch this
Yeah.
movie because I need to know.
it's
Yeah.
good. It's
I need to
really
know.
It's really good. It's really good. At one point, I think Mad Dog didn't believe that I was gonna watch it, so or we just started talking about it. At one point, we were like, oh, okay, let's. And he kind of told me what it was, and I was like, oh, okay. But it's still knowing what it was. I still had a very good time with it, because it is a fun movie. You know.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would definitely recommend Overlord. You were absolutely right, Mad Dog, on this one.
Awesome.
Uh, and then. Being that having the holiday season, of course, and for those of us who celebrate Christmas, I needed to Christmas it out with a Christmas movie.
So you
Die
watch
Hard.
Die
And
Hard?
Oh.
no, you see, I tried to go, I, and I will never argue. I believe it in my heart, Die Hard. It's definitely a Christmas movie. So much so that it was the first Christmas movie that I watched with my wife.
Nice.
Wow,
So
that's
so
romantic
so
right
so
there. That's
yeah,
a man
that's
that
true.
knows.
The first year it was Die Hard. The second year, it was Scrooge, with Bill Murray.
Will Murray. Hmm.
Which I
Oh,
love that movie. For all, I freaking got that one of my favorite
I
Christmas movies.
remember that movie. I like that movie.
Yeah. And then on this one, I didn't do any, I didn't go, anything super super special. I watched Elf with Will Ferrell,
Haven't
Oh.
watched
and
it.
yeah, it's a cute movie, but it's a Christmas movie. It's nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that will blow your mind or anything like that. But it is cute. It's
I'm
nice.
not a giant. I'm not a big fan of Will Ferrell. So
Me either.
Yeah, me,
Me
me
neither.
neither is my wife actually dislike him as an actor, but we were looking to see what's Christmas movie to watch, and she ended up liking the movie. So
Good.
that's
oh,
all I wanted. I wanted to
okay.
have
Oh,
something to
I'm
watch.
glad you guys liked it at least.
Yeah. She liked it. It's nice. What else? I finished the season 3 of Miss Maisel. I'll keep forgetting what the entire name of that
The
is.
Marvelous
The
Miss.
Marvelous Miss Maisel on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
A series that I absolutely love because it is very humorous. It's very lightweight. It's comical. It's great. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't feel like this season hit with the same impact of the previous ones. I feel like so far the first season was the strongest. I mean, quote unquote, because again, I'm talking about a very light TV. This is
Hmm.
not action or anything crazy, anything like that. Magda, what is the wonderful Miss Maisel about? A short description for
Short,
those.
yeah. Short description is, this takes place a while back. I want to say it's in the 50s, if I'm not mistaken.
And
Uh,
50s as beginning of the 60s. Yeah.
the beginning of yeah. So late 50s, early 60s. Miss Maisel is the star. Obviously, she is. In essence, her life changes. She's a Jewish woman from a Jewish family, very, traditional, where they have the marriage and the big thing with the family and all that. And then something happens where there's now this separation, and that throws a big thing into the home life and everything. And somehow, one way or another, she becomes a stand-up comedian, and not just a regular stand-up comedian. We're talking raunchy levels of stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on top of that, she's very, very good at being a stand-up comedian. So that's in essence the show, and obviously from there it just kind of takes off to
It takes
what her
off.
life is. Yeah.
The characters more than the story, of each episode. The characters is what makes what make that show
Mm-hmm.
so entertaining. But yeah, this third season, like I don't know, it was 8 episodes. It was like it kind of didn't go anywhere until like maybe the very last the last one,
Mm-hmm.
and I am a little bit disappointed, and you
Okay.
can tell people were also because it's this is actually still very high rated on Amazon Prime, but this last season was not as high rated as the previous.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but
It
yeah,
happens. It happens.
yeah. I'm hoping that the next season it picks up a little bit more because I will hate to lose interest on it. Like I said, I like laughing with the craziness of each character. Like I love every single character in this show, even the secondary characters. I have a lot of fun watching this series, and I
Nice.
will hate to lose interest on it.
Nice.
That's you.
Oh,
That's all.
Oh,
listen,
that's all
before
you've been doing. Okay.
before we conclude with Mad Dog, I gotta say that, like I said, I haven't caught up to the to on the podcast here. But if you recall the message I sent you recently,
Uh,
I do.
I know Mad Dog remembers. Do you remember Dream?
I don't think he does. I think he saw the message, but they didn't even see it. But
Yeah,
I have no idea what you guys talking about.
I got no reaction from you, and even Mad Dog at first had no idea. I kind of had to point it out to him
yeah.
too.
I
But I finally found out that you're watching Glorious Bastards.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that was a long time ago.
It
And
was
I
a
got
while
actually far
ago.
for actually that was this. I watched it. I think it's the week after the podcast that we had where you guys were talking so highly about it. I sat down and watched it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that movie was great.
yeah. So you guys sent me. You guys basically made a time capsule of sorts.
I
Um,
don't know if he still remembers, but that's funny.
but you
Yes,
guys
the
did
time
tell me
capsule.
that, like, once you listen to this chaos, you have to send us a message saying, "You fuckers."
There you go. We have come full circle on that promise.
Yes, sir. And I just wanted this to be live and recorded for posterity.
That's awesome. I'll never forget. So I saw it, like I saw the message, and I was
Uh-huh.
just like, I'm not even sure what's happening. I was like, all right, whatever. And then he points it out later. And as he's like, as I'm bringing it up to look at it again, and he goes,
I
"Did you
see
get the
you.
whatever?" And it dawned on me. I was like, "Yes, that's right. That's what that's from."
Yep. Yes,
Awesome,
sir. I'm
awesome.
glad you liked it. I'm glad. I can't wait
Yeah,
for the
man.
second you tell me. At this point, what I'm expecting you when you tell me that you saw Pulp Fiction is that you're disappointed. I swear to God, that's what I'm expecting at
Oh,
this point.
Me
I'll
too.
give you my honest opinion. If it's great, it's great, and I have no reason to believe it will not be. Uh, but yeah, yeah, no, I'll be very honest. Just like we're gonna be tomorrow when we watch when we see Star
Oh,
Wars,
heck
All
yeah.
and
right. That's all.
report next week.
That's
Mhm.
all I expect.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, all I have been doing, I still playing Iconoclast, which is a little side-scrolling mix between Metroidvania and Mega Man, almost like, and it's actually pretty decent. I'm still playing that, but I did start a new game. My son got me this game for my birthday, Judgment.
Ooh,
Yes,
talk to me.
from the makers of the Yakuza series, and I'm not very far in, and apparently it's a very long game, but I'm not very far in. And yeah, I kind of remember why I stopped playing Yakuza games.
Wow.
Wow, it's like
So
How
that,
it's
huh?
how
not
fast did you remember?
pretty quickly, you know. It's first off, don't get me wrong. I am technically I'm enjoying it, right? I'm about probably 2 hours in, is where I'm at. I am enjoying my time with it. It does obviously it has its own rhythm to the to what's going on, and the city of Camarocho that you're going through, and I love the way the city and the bustle and everything. That's always been, I think, the attraction of that particular game, and I think Dream Twister has mentioned that at least a million times, where that's essentially his, what he goes back to. But for me, it's I do like that as well. I do like that it's actually up to date, so it's as of today's time, or I guess contemporary time is the way to put it. And but so far, it's not bad. The story is fairly interesting, but I can see where I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, I guess gotta do it. Like I'm trying to go to one place another, and for whatever reason, someone wants to pick a fight with me, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this again. I'm still getting the hang of the fighting. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is a little different from the Yakuza games, as far as the fighting goes. And I do like it, and I am interested in the story. The story does it has moments where I'm like, okay, I'm liking, like, I'm interested. That's most likely going to be the hook, for to keep me going on the game. So I'm definitely interested in playing it. But again, 2 hours in, not a lot of time. I don't really want to. It's just really very early impressions. Graphics are very nice. This is essentially how I played to Yakuza 2, which is what, PlayStation 2 maybe, early PlayStation 3, and so obviously in my mind's eye the graphics look like what they look like now, but when you really look back at them, like, oh, it looks dated. But
It's
the
the same
graphics
city, though. So you're
yeah,
forgiven. You're forgiven for thinking
yeah,
that it looks like that.
yeah. I'm like, man, this is. But yeah, no, it's good. The acting is good. I left. It's funny how you said it. It defaulted to the English language,
Oh, it
and
does.
yeah, it defaults to that. And funny thing is, I didn't like it even dawn on me until I'm like, maybe at this point an hour in, and I'm just like, oh shit, that's right, they're speaking English. Wait a minute. So I go to switch it over,
Uh,
and it literally takes me back to the title screen. I'm like,
what?
what the hell? And then when I hit it again, and it does pick up from where I left off, but it ended the game just to reload the game again.
Oh wow.
And so I was like, that was very odd. And then when I get there, I'm like, now I'm listening to Japanese, and now because I've done it for an hour in English, I'm like, okay, this isn't working. I gotta go back to the English. So, so I've unfortunately
You started
decided
wrong.
to just continue the way it is. I'm like, I've already invested too much time in English, so I'm gonna have to go go with this.
Uh,
So yes, that's Judgment. Um, I have finished my rewatch of the Star Wars, because we have Disney Plus in the house, and we've watched. I did not do the original prequels, and I understand if anybody wants to be upset with me.
Come on, man! You
I, do-
seriously not gonna
I
watch
did
Jar
not.
Jar?
Yeah, I did not do the original
listen,
prequels.
they never happened.
As far as I'm concerned, they're
Listen,
fan fiction.
the only thing I don't care to repeat is the Jar Jar Binks.
That's and guess what? You have to start with
'Cause
Phantom Menace, which is all Jar Jar.
I
And
know, but
two, three, they realized how horrible Jar Jar was, and basically cut back on his part.
I
But
mean, it gave us Darth Maul though.
sure,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm sorry, but
then
that
he kept them
fight.
off. It's I put it this way. I started. Oh, by the way, I started from Rogue One for the record. So I saw Rogue One, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so I enjoyed that rewatch. I have enjoyed it. I just finished watching yesterday. As a matter of fact, we just watched The Last Jedi, and holy
Nice.
crap, dude! I have forgotten how much I really dig that film. I did watch earlier this week The Force Awakens, and I almost want to say I challenge you guys to rewatch Force Awakens, because I have a
Yeah.
feeling that it's not going to land the same way after watching it.
You
Because I
think so?
watched and I was just like, yeah, this is what it was. Okay, all right. I remember enjoying it more, and I think honestly and truly, guys, I really think it's just the fact that it was a good Star Wars. You know what I mean? It was a good
Yeah.
Star Wars after everything that happened before and the concerns with everything, and it was just like, okay, I really think that's what it was. But I still enjoyed, for the record, I still enjoyed Force Awakens.
Yeah.
But The Last Jedi, man, I sat there taking notes on little things that I just enjoyed on the film, and you can see the difference. This is the other thing I was just so taken aback by. You could see the difference in the filming and the way things look and the angles that were being caused. Like this is a real freaking good film. You know what I mean? I get it. I get the problems with it. I'm not here to argue the problems with it. You know, I'm just here to say that I don't have a problem with it. I just didn't have a problem with it at all. Yes, there's obviously some things like having to go get this code breaker because that's the only idea we have. Okay, sure, let's go with that.
Yeah.
But overall, dude, guys, I really enjoy that. I'm glad I rewatched it now that knowing that we're going to be watching it tomorrow, the episode 9. And so I definitely recommend you guys doing that too. If well, I don't know if Dream Twister, you probably don't have any time to do it, but definitely before seeing it because it really keeps things fresh in your head as you go into the new one. I'm very excited to see it, regardless of what the initial impressions are of the film. I'm still excited to see it. It's just humorous to see the initial impressions. The moment I saw that, I was like, of course, maybe divisive, sure. So yeah, so I finished that, and I did watch. Oh, guys, I watched this movie.
What did you do?
Called Six Underground.
Oh my God!
It's a Netflix film. It's a Netflix owned film. It just obviously stars Ryan Reynolds. You know what I mean? Directed by Michael Bay. Guys, this movie is offensive in every essence of what you can think of. The movie is it's just so wrong. It's so wrong. I posted that within 20 minutes I really wanted to shut it off, but out of sheer morbid curiosity, we kept watching. I was like, this is a train wreck that I need to see to the end because I just need to see how bad this can get. and
Wow.
and in essence, guys, if the Witcher series wasn't coming out, I really would question my subscription to Netflix.
Wow.
Yo, I am super excited about the Witcher series. No
Well,
joke.
Me too. And
no, we are also. But I need to know what you say. You say this is like just wrong. Like in what sense? Like what?
All right, so I generally am okay with Michael Bay films.
Uh-huh.
So let me give you the premise, right?
Okay.
So the reason it's called Six Underground is a team of six, headed up by Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is a billionaire, and he has this team, and the point of this team that he's putting together is to take down evil dictators around the world, essentially. And so he puts the plans together to go in and find them and basically do a coup, usually, right? Because you want to get somebody else to put in place who's good or something like that. So that's essentially the purpose of what he does. How they do it, is where they're supposed to be the top of something. I guess they're supposed to really be good at what they do, but they are so not good at what they do. And yet the movie is supposed to be funny about this. They're trying to save, or to help a certain nation, but they are just so just casual about random murder. It's just like there's people do the ragdoll effects in this game. In this movie. Sorry. In this movie, the ragdoll effects are some of the most impressive things that I've ever seen.
Oh, I was gonna ask if it is the movie so far gone, you actually confused it with a video game.
It might as well be. It might as well be. It's some of the best. Some of the there's explosions everywhere. There's sex for no reason. There's bad camera angles because why not?
Also,
there
a
is
lot of cross shots.
poor musical choices. It's just like, what are we doing? Why is there this song playing? And this was supposed to be, guys. It's offensive in every way. Your ears, your eyes are gonna hurt.
I had to watch this.
I cannot in any way express more how bad this movie. And I'm upset mostly because I was told that it was, hey, you need to watch it. And I'm like, okay, well, yes, Ryan Reynolds, let's do it, right? It can't be that bad. And I'm like, okay, Michael Bay, that's fine, But I've enjoyed some Michael Bay films in my. This is like Netflix gave Michael Bay a blank check and said, go do your best, your
worst.
yeah, and. It's just everywhere, dude. The pacing. It's like we're in the middle of the story. Suddenly, we're in the past. My wife was so confused at some point because there was a kid, and she's like, "That can't be his kid. They just did this. They just met, whatever." And I'm like, "No, honey, that was like a few years ago. The movie just makes no sense of time. It's just like all over the place." And I'm just like,
Are the reviews of it like? Do they point that out? Like in general?
Know. Look, to be honest with you,
didn't even look. That's how much you care. It's like I don't.
Not worth looking at. It really. I have my own opinion, and the movie is absolute insanity. It's just I can't think of another word. What's worse than offensive?
Somebody. Ghostbusters 2016.
Listen. You wanna know how funny life is? I have a friend, Dark. You guys have met him. That he absolutely hates the new Star Wars trilogy. Hates it. Okay. He said that they destroyed it, this and that, whatever. But, ironically enough, he absolutely loved this movie.
Six Underground?
Yeah. He keeps telling me to watch it.
There you go.
I just understand one thing. Well, first off, obviously, what I'm saying here will most likely set your expectations to a certain point, right? And obviously, if your expectation go in a certain way, you may actually come back going, "Oh, it was actually all right." You know what I mean? And maybe it's my own fault. It's Michael Bay, right? I should know, whatever. But this is Michael Bay unhinged. This is someone who has no direction. Yeah. And like I said, there's just I don't mind sex. I don't mind the action and stuff, but it's got to have a point. It has to have a reason. Just want to have 2 hours of exploding stuff and shit that doesn't make sense. And this movie was so exhausting, guys. Wow. So exhausting. It was. I finished it. We finished it. That was the other thing. We actually watched it to the end. And because it was one of those things like, you know what, maybe it gets better. Maybe at some point this is gonna start to pull everything back, and no, it does not.
No. Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, I only brought that up not to I didn't want to start something or anything. I just how different people can feel about the same Absolutely. Thing, like it's just complete opposites on two completely different subjects.
Yeah. I 100%. I can see it. And like I said, I've had people who have told me this, and it's one of those things where you. Oh my God, guys! You start to question, like, am I wrong? Maybe I just don't like movies. I don't know. Maybe it's like, what is wrong with me? Maybe I'm the problem, guys. I don't know what it is, but I saw this and I was just, this is just, it's. I can't anymore with this fucking movie. I really can't. It was, and I didn't want to say that. Like people were saying, "Oh, it's good," and I was like, guys, no, stop. It's like I'm glad, and I was like, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's just, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad, and I hope everybody does enjoy it who watches it. But oh my God, guys, that movie it's the worst movie of the year. Period.
Wow.
The worst movie.
I didn't see this.
It's hands down. It's just easily. And like I said, when I walked away, I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need Netflix. Maybe I'll just go back, watch The Witcher, and just move on. I don't know.
Wow, it made you question, because hey, just didn't we see? Didn't all three of us saw? The Nero movie.
The Irishman.
Yeah, The Irishman, and we enjoyed it. And here we are with this one movie questioning Netflix altogether.
It's just, oh my God, it's just
wow.
You know what it is? I just couldn't believe it. It's one of those things you just can't believe you're watching this happening. You just this
is offensively bad.
Offensively bad, guys. And I hate to end it on that note, but that is all that I've been doing. And we're back, guys. And it is time for our
Trailer
of the
of the week.
Trailer of the week.
Nice. Trailer of the week, guys, is Top Gun Maverick. We just saw the trailer. This is actually trailer number 1. There was a teaser a little while back. I don't think it made our list. May have been a quick mention or something like that.
We watched it.
We did watch, but
yeah, we watched it.
Okay. What do you guys think of the first trailer there?
Okay, I'm gonna take this up first real quick because well, I want to know what you guys. Anyways, I'm excited for it. I really wasn't excited for this movie, but then I saw the trailer and all I could think of was Ace Combat.
Oh,
and how I absolutely love those games. And you know what? Fuck it, I'm down for this. I if they do this right, if they give me like the dog fights and all that shit right, I am so down for this movie.
Nice.
So I am going to echo his feelings. I am so down with Ace Combat that I want to play Ace Combat.
I know. Just watching this, like, I just want to run out and buy the last one. Like, fuck it.
Except, fuck this movie because I am not interested whatsoever. No, I tell you what the problem is, and this is the same problem that I have with the Mission Impossible movies. It is Tom Cruise is such a crazy cuckoo person already that from what I see from his showings in real life, in shows and stuff like that, that whenever I see him in movies now, I cannot picture anything else. I can only picture cuckoo Tom Cruise, and I don't like that. And also I like Top Gun, but Top Gun was a decent 80s movie. Like I don't think we necessarily need to revisit.
Listen, I at least at work, the people that I've asked, most of them has this movie in like their top 3 of all time.
I don't have it in the top 3, but I can probably squeeze it into my top 10. I really love the original Top Gun. It is. First off, I agree with the Tom Cruise sentiment. I'm the same way. But that normally for me lands on stuff that's new for him, because whenever I see him in something new, I can't see past Tom Cruise. It's like it's the I don't see the character. I see just Tom Cruise playing whoever he's playing.
Yeah.
However, because this is still the same person he's played in the other one, in the original Top Gun, it's like it still feels like it's him. It's what I mean. It's Maverick, and that's why I can kind of see past it a little bit here. What I can't see past is how a lot of from the trailer, a lot of the scenes seem to echo the original movie.
Oh my God! Almost beat for beat.
Correct. So I'm just like, okay, is this a Force Awakens thing here, where it's like we're gonna just kind of tread? And it's not just a Force Awakens, for the record. I've kind of noticed this with a lot of remakes or sequels to older things, where it seems to kind of follow the same trend, because realistically that's what won the first time, so why
nostalgia.
Correct, yeah, exactly. They're trying to sell you on the nostalgia. And I don't know, there's even a character that I know is not Goose, but might as well be.
Yeah,
Goose. I was like, that looks like freaking Goose.
I know.
I was like, okay, I get it. Hey, it's fine. So that's my concern, but I still want to see it.
You know what? I agree with you.
Yeah,
100%.
If there's one thing that I absolutely love from the originals, is that for its time, it was some of the best aerial dogfighting that you can see on film. And I think, honestly, I don't think I've seen anything since that has been that awesome. And if there's one thing I can also say that crazy Tom Cruise will bring to the film, is as much realism as possible. Yeah, because he's always involved with his own stunts.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That scene when he pulls up the plane that he's just breaking it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, that was amazing.
That looks ridiculously
That's what got me excited to see like that when he flies in between those planes. Nah, dude, like, yes, I need to watch this movie. I'm sorry. And you know what? This might be one of the good things about living sort of under a rock. Like I don't really watch this much level of TV concerning stars or whatever because I don't care for any of it. So like I have seen very little of Crazy Tom Cruise, but I do see him as like he's the same character in every movie with a different name. You
Okay.
know that I do see. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter which movie you watch. It's after a specific point because I feel like he used to be a little more diverse than this. What the hell? And then like every action movie he does is the same character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. I can see
That's
that.
the
Uh,
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does go
so
off the rails on some of them. I don't know if you saw the movie Night and Day, where he
yeah,
almost plays like his Mission Impossible character, but one that's like for some reason just like nuts. And like just like really spacey. So it's like,
yeah. I saw
okay,
that
all
movie.
right,
Kevin
I could
Spacey.
the well, no, no, not the no. No, no, not that. Not that. No.
Jesus, what?
The yeah. But yeah, you're right. For the most part, you don't really see him do things different than most of his characters. Most characters are almost completely the same. They're the tough
Yeah.
guy. They're the whatever, and it's just like
Ex-military, whatever.
ex-military, and
Jack Reacher.
like the guy you don't want to mess with because he's a loose cannon, and all this.
Yeah.
I'm like, and
Yeah.
frankly, that's what he's doing here, realistically. But this is like the first one, right? This is like one of his first loose cannon. Like we can't trust Maverick with a $30 million plane, and all this stuff. And now it's like,
But he's gonna pull through regardless
yeah,
somehow, some way.
exactly. So
It's
I can dig
so
it. I can dig it. I can easily see this being a solid 7.5, 8 film, which I can
yeah.
enjoy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So,
I'm
uh,
willing to pay for that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. So that is our trailer of the week, guys. Top Gun Maverick. So let's get into the useless news that you can use. And I'm going to start off right at the top with the Xbox Games with Goals for January 2020.
Oh,
Oh,
that's the
shit.
future.
That is the future.
Holy crap.
We can see into the future, guys. Xbox Live Gold subscribers and Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscribers will get access to 4 free games in January as part of those subscriptions. Thanks to Xbox Game with Gold, it will be including Batman: The Telltale Series, and Xbox Games Tekken 6, Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. And then for a full month, they'll get Styx Shards of Darkness, which is a 2017 stealth adventure game from developer Cyanide. Yeah, free games, guys. Not
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't,
slim pickings here. I think
didn't
we
really,
can.
didn't really hear anything that was.
Yeah,
Yeah. For the greatness that it for how great Game Pass seems to be for Microsoft, I think that the offerings on their monthly Xbox, Play with Gold or whatever it is that's called, they have never been great. Or I wouldn't say never. I think they may have hit it maybe like once or twice in the year. For the most part, you're getting like reject games that like nobody's playing because they're not selling, And it feels like that whether it's on. I've always said on Sony's camp, it feels like you're getting more value
mm,
for your $60 a year of PSN, But hey, they have Game Pass, which is unmatched. So
for sure, for
yeah,
sure, for sure, for sure. Sony needs to step up for for PlayStation 5. I know I've said this before. I don't know if you guys agreed. I don't remember, and I'm just saying the level of value that you can get from those services on Xbox One is unprecedented. And
hmm
with the first showing of Senua's Saga, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying, already showing, hey, guess what? We're gonna have exclusive single player games coming to our console, and if those things are available in the service, which I'm sure they will be,
mm
let me tell you, Sony needs to Sony needs to fix this shit. I get it that you want them to pay it, but let me tell you, if that's going to happen, and that's just one studio out of the what 9 that they purchased,
yeah.
so it's
and they're talking and they're talking of games that you buy. If let's say if you buy a game on this generation and it becomes available also on next gen on the Xbox, by the way, which is what we're calling the next generation Xbox. It's just Xbox now.
Series X, I hear you.
Yeah, the Series X. Remember, Series X is its own thing. The actual name of it, they already rectify. It's just Xbox. That's all they're calling it. Series X is the powerful version, and Series whatever is the other version that they're going to be releasing at the same time. Or I don't know if that's at the same time, but that's supposedly the plan. But what I was saying is, if you buy a game, say I don't know, Halo, Halo Infinite, and they release Halo Infinite on Xbox One, right? And then they have the Xbox, the next generation Xbox version available, Series X or whatever. You wouldn't have to pay for that version again. Your version of Halo, for example, is transgenerational. That's what they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like it's amazing to hear because I remember buying GTA 5, for example, like twice or three times actually at the end of the day because I bought it on 260 and then I bought it on Xbox One again and then I bought it on PC.
Yeah, I double dip on Grand Theft Auto 5 as well.
I triple dip on that. So
Oh yeah,
no
you went a little
regrets.
crazy.
Yeah, no regrets.
I paid for it once, and that was already too much.
Yeah. That's your. There's not. This is.
I love it.
It's sad. It's so sad. It's so sad that you think that way. That it's honestly, I couldn't conjure something witty to say because it just made me sad on the inside.
I
That
love.
somehow you were not able to enjoy GTA 5. What arguably the game of the generation.
Oh,
I am not.
Yes. Oh,
I am
absolutely.
not.
sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm
Which
not
you
gonna
think
lie.
Literal
Nope.
game of the generation.
I'm not gonna lie. I was so
Hey,
lost for a second as to what the hell just happened here.
It was.
Took me a second to catch up, but I'm here now. I'm here now.
Yeah. Yeah.
all
Listen,
right.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto is not for everybody. You know,
I hear you,
Yeah.
and I can agree. Who has the next?
he's missing out though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I my monitor is in a weird angle here, so it's kind of hard to talk on the mic. And look at this. Hold up.
I got the next one if you're not ready.
Okay, no, I got this. I got this. So, because
I got this guy. I got
I
this
got
guy.
this. Yeah, I just fixed this.
Give me a second. I'm
do.
fixing here. Come on.
So
Just
the
bam.
Borderlands 3 DLC has landed as Handsome Jack's Casino comes to life, and I'm reading this off TechRadar.com.
Nice.
Yes, so the Borderlands 3 landed on PC and console this year, but now keen looters and shooters have the chance to download the game's first campaign add-on, Moxie's Heist of the Handsome Jackpot. Well, that sounds interesting. While Handsome Jack himself is no longer around to grapple with his legacy lives on in casinos that takes his name, with more than enough of his visage flaunted around the neon strips and floating holograms of the establishment. You can catch a glimpse of the usual mayhem in the trailer below, showing off the mastermind behind your upcoming heist, Moxie, and the sentient slot machines and absurdly dressed enemies looking to shoot you down before you can make off with your winnings.
Nice.
So,
So it takes place in a casino city. Is
I,
it like
yeah,
in Sonic
apparently.
the Hedgehog?
I
The
mean,
casino
what
scene?
I'm picturing is like heist, like Grand Theft Auto 5, since we were just talking about it. But like and Borderlands 3, you can only imagine the wild enemies are gonna put on this or
Yeah.
whatever loot they drop. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Moxie's back and everything here. I haven't watched the trailer, but it's here. I'll share it with the group so you guys can see it. But
That's cool.
I know it's like 10 gigabytes because a friend Dark was gonna download it and he told me that's kind of like the size of it.
So it's out. Oh, it's out now. Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't been. I haven't been in the. I haven't been in the main campaign. Although I was in. I am doing it quite a bit. I stopped because I picked up the Outer Worlds, and once I'm done with the Outer World, I intend to go back to Borderlands 3. And now they have that DLC waiting. That's cool. That's good to hear. I hope it's actually a good one. Let's see. All right, so I got the next piece. I'm just gonna touch on this since I started babbling about it on the previous piece, and that is to clarify that yes, ladies and gentlemen, the next generation Xbox is just called Xbox. Series the Series X is a version of the Xbox, not the name of the new generation. During the Game Awards 2019, Microsoft unveiled the next generation of Xbox, the Xbox Series X, or that's what we and everyone else thought it was going to be called. However, Business Insider recently spoke to a Microsoft representative who confirmed the next generation name is simple Xbox. And I want to clarify, not the Xbox, not the next Xbox, not the next generation Xbox. It's literally just Xbox. That's it.
So they gave up.
Yeah, they pretty much decided like, okay, we're obviously bad at naming, so let's just stick with the only name that we got right in the beginning, which was
Xbox
just
and
Xbox. And
wow.
then to differentiate, let's call this one red and this one blue.
They're gonna go
No,
the Pokemon route.
yes, exactly. Sword and Shield, Xbox Sword and Xbox Shield. No, Series X is a name of the model coming next year. And then the quote says, "The name we're carrying forward to the next generation is simply Xbox," said a Microsoft representative. Uh, at at the Game Awards, you saw the name come to life through the Xbox Series X. In a separate quote, the representative told Business Insider, similar to what fans has seen with previous generations, the next Xbox Series X allows room for additional console on the future. This is a similar naming convention to the powerful Xbox One X and the less powerful Xbox One S. It's unclear if Xbox intends to continue denoting the weaker console with S, leading to an Xbox Series S next year.
Jesus Christ.
Next year as well. It's also possible. Oh, shut up! PS4 has the PS4 Vanilla and the PS4 Pro. Although I know they don't call it Vanilla, but you know what I mean. I know what you mean, though. It's ridiculous. There shouldn't be tiers of Xbox. There shouldn't be tiers of PlayStation. There shouldn't be. They should just be just one console, like you used to have.
So
But
are
then
they
again,
gonna?
fucking Nintendo did three versions of the Switch, so there you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
but are they gonna run into the same problem down the line? Are they just gonna keep putting letters?
What do you mean on this? Well, on this generation, it seems like it's just gonna be, series whatever.
That's just stupid.
I no, actually, well, that okay. If
I
you say
mean,
if you think so, I
uh,
don't want to throw it like no, you're wrong because you're not wrong. To me,
I mean, it could be.
in my opinion, when I heard Xbox Series X was gonna be the name of the generation of that, the next generation Xbox, I was like, "Pff, of course they're gonna have like the worst naming convention for it. It's horrible. I hate it. If you hear the last podcast, it was me like, dude, like I
Just
love the way
ragging
it
on
looks and
it.
that, but that name is horrible. That name is horrible.
Really, I didn't hate it.
Uh, but well, I don't hate this. What they if calling it just Xbox is what a lot of people were actually saying. Like, dude, just don't get crazy with names. Just why don't you just
Yeah.
call it Xbox? And that's it. I mean, it's a shame. If anything, it's a shame that we need a, a sub model. Kind of like if it was a
Oh,
card or something for
you're right.
because of different versions of the Xbox. That's a shame.
No,
Uh,
you know what? You're absolutely right, though. You're absolutely right. That it is because I mean, Just look at the PlayStation though. What do? They literally just increment the number and move on.
Yeah. Which,
You
hey,
know,
I also I don't mind that. So
me either.
I mind the fact that they have to have the PlayStation 5, and then that's coming the
The
PlayStation 5
PS5
Pro.
Pro.
Yeah,
I
that
know.
that crap it
I'm gonna
irks
hate
me
that.
because it's just dividing, subdividing and you know what they're doing is so that you have the faithful go ahead and spend again. The first thing I did as soon as the Xbox, Pro, sorry, the PlayStation 4 Pro came out, I literally sold my my Xbox One X. Oh fuck, my Xbox One, and traded my PlayStation 4, and got a Pro. Obviously, they touted the the benefits that they have, and all that, so they kind of got me there. But at the end of the day, if in retrospect, I kind of wish it hadn't happened. I was all down for the power and stuff like that, but when I saw what it really did, it's like, maybe we don't need this division anymore. You know. But anyway, going back to the name, I think it's good that they kept that, just calling it Xbox, and I think that's a great idea. It definitely is a beautiful box. Uh,
And
I'm
better
not
than any
interested.
PlayStation 5 I've seen.
I'm not interested. Oh, I'm not interested on a weaker, the weaker Xbox, if you
Mm-hmm.
will.
Makes sense. All right, guys. My next piece here is all about the PlayStation 4 back button attachment coming in January. There's
Oh,
something we were looking to have.
What the
I was gonna
hell?
mention that.
Yes,
What
yes.
the
I
hell?
mean, I don't know how
Sony's,
I feel about it.
well, it's happening regardless. So, Sony's DualShock 4 controller is getting a peripheral for your controller, guys, called the back button attachment. It adds a pair of programmable paddles to the back of your standard PlayStation 4. The device will be $29.99 and will release on the 23rd of January. Similar to now, here's what I can Sony. God, here's what I can see in this. If you look at if anybody's seen the Elite Xbox Elite controller, on the bottom towards the back of it are some paddles which you can actually program stuff to. So I feel like this is their way of adding this function that I'm not sure if anybody was really clamoring for, but yeah,
Yeah, I've heard from owners of the Xbox, of the Xbox controller Elite, that have they have tried the paddles, right, but they remove them. They're removable, so they just take them out. And I imagine if I were, I'm not that I would spend 100, close to $200 on a gamepad, but if I were to acquire one, by means, I will not I will not play with those buttons on the back. I don't need them. I'm not saying that they're necessarily like useless, and and they shouldn't exist, because obviously if they're making it, it's because apparently there's a market, there's a hardcore market, maybe an esports, or I don't know,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
that
It
takes
is
advantage of it.
mostly for yeah.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, when I read about it, I was like, okay, that's just a silly idea. Why would Sony be inventing something like that, especially this late, this generation, yada yada. But then I looked at it, and it is a nice piece of it's a nice piece of engineering.
Mhm.
It definitely, it looks sturdy. It has an OLED screen, like a mini OLED, like a circular OLED screen,
Yeah.
which I don't know. Like that might be a little overkill for what it's meant to do.
It's. I mean, you're
But
just gonna
hey,
drain the battery for no reason.
Yeah, I
it
was gonna say.
yeah, there you go, exactly. I don't know. It's definitely, it feels unnecessary. Kind of makes me wonder. Maybe it has something like that planned for the next controllers.
Well, this is what I
Uh,
can see coming out of it. It's definitely for a niche market because honestly, that feels unnatural, and that's the thing. it's just unnatural to us because we've never used that. That looks
Oh,
kind of
true.
crazy. Okay, so
Yeah.
but the way that it's mapped, from what I'm reading here, and I'm reading it from Tech Radar, is that when you press it, then your four face buttons do different things,
Hmm.
Okay.
right?
You
And
give it some
that
separate options for it. Yeah.
right, and that reminds me of the way that the PlayStation 4 with the controller handles the skills in Final Fantasy 14. That's exactly how you do it. You press
Mm.
R2 and your face button, including the D-pad, are all different skills. When you press the L2, it's a whole different set.
Mm.
I see.
So I can see the mentality behind it. I maybe somebody this works for them. I don't think it will work for me. Even knowing how it's supposed to work, I would find it unnatural to press that button there.
Yeah.
There is also something that's mentioned here, which I really want to make sure I bring up because it's something that I honestly, as I was even reading the article, wasn't thinking of. This can be particularly helpful for those with disabilities. Easier to press a button as opposed to on
Mm.
the face of the controller. So
Oh,
yeah,
there you go.
that's
There you
something.
go.
That's
Yeah.
something that my ignorant mind wasn't thinking about when I first saw this article. So I want to make sure I point it out.
It. I was thinking about it, but it just seems like a very particular, like just like how Microsoft designed this whole controller based around that idea, right? And this thing, like saying that sounds like just kind of like like an excuse because it's not really liberating that I don't know. It doesn't
Well,
seem
you
like that's
can,
the primary
Well,
function of
yeah.
it.
The person is saying that you can program it
Uh,
to have a function that a face button would have, and if you're already holding on to just that end of the controller, it may be for obviously those who have difficulty moving your fingers around. If your fingers already resting on the back of the controller, and all
mm,
you have to do is squeeze to do something, it may make it easier. And obviously that's something that you probably want in for timing as well. Even if you look at it that way as well, as like instead of
yeah,
having to reach out for something, you're already there. All you got to do is squeeze, and obviously that would work
yeah,
pretty
I
well
I
guess.
with.
mean,
Oh,
let's be drastic about it. Let's see somebody's missing two fingers on the right hand.
True.
sure,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It doesn't have to be both hands. It could just be one, and
Right.
yeah, that makes
And
sense.
now
Yeah.
you have that. Now
yeah,
you have access to a button with the fingers that you have.
Hmm.
yeah. Oh, true. It
Yeah.
I mean,
sounds like
again,
a very specific case, but
yeah, like I
sure.
said,
Yeah.
it's a very niche market. Regardless of how you look at it, it's a very niche market, guys. It's
True.
fucking terrible.
True that. True that. Who has the next piece?
uh,
Okay, I got one. This will be my last one because my second one was gonna be that
Oh,
actually.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I honestly I forgot about the news until after we watched the trailer, so I was kind of like scrambling here.
There's not a lot anyway, but go ahead.
Okay, so here on Tech Radar, I found that No Man's Sky update lets you make your own sounds and music.
Oh.
oh yes, that came out also, and I heard it was pretty cool.
The what?
That I heard that it was really good.
Oh, there's a prequel somewhere there, and I thought it was weird. Anyways, so I'm reading this straight out of Tech Radar. It's the game that keeps on giving. No Man's Sky, the never-ending universe simulator from Hello Game, is getting a new update, and this time it's all about sound and music. No Man's Sky update 2.24. Damn. Adds a fully functioning synthesizer to the game, letting players create new tracks and sound effects for the game. The Bytebeat device works in tandem with the game's space building tools and is built using module blueprints from the space anomaly. Connected to a power supply and will act as a boombox with a unique procedurally generated song being played. That song can be tweaked, letting players create new melodies, tempos, drum patterns, and more. All right, so this is actually pretty interesting because Warframe has something like this, right?
Oh,
Yes, Octavia. She drops this little ball of death because that's really what it is. That acts as a decoy and reflects damage back to enemies. And it has a beat, it has some music. Depending on the skills that you throw out, you add more parts of the song. And when have all three out, you have the full song playing.
Mhm.
So I went through the painfully slow process
mm.
of recreating the song from Borderlands 2 from the intro.
Wow. You talk
Okay.
about the
Dun,
I don't know
dun,
which one
dun,
you're talking
dun,
about.
dun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember the words because all I hear is the beat all the time. So that's all I
Wow,
can
wow,
give
wow.
you. Yeah. I love that song. All right. I
Mighty
really,
dog.
really love that song. So
Hey, no rest for the wicked from
what?
White Elephant. No rest for the wicked is the
Oh,
name of the
okay.
song, I think.
Love
From
that song.
White
Okay.
Elephant, I think is what it's called, or
That
some group
song
like
is great. So, I
that
mean,
song is great.
it took me hours because of the way that Warframe does this whole system. So I'm hoping they don't necessarily do that system because that's painful as shit. It's the only song I've done, probably the only song I'll ever do. But I mean, so that sounds pretty interesting, and you can create sound effects, which is that's oh god, people are gonna go crazy with this.
No, I can imagine. Yeah.
Another way of creating, that game offers, which is kind of insane, the transformation that
How
that
far
the
it's
game has
come,
done.
right? I was just thinking about that.
Yes, yeah. You know what? Vindicated. Sean Murray, you have been vindicated.
This is like a Warframe 2 story.
Actually,
Yeah.
you were yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Warframe
exactly
2,
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
you were vindicated like 2 or 3 patches ago, but
I
honestly,
know.
the game that keeps on giving.
as much
Now
as I
it's
hated it in the beginning, I gotta say they come a really long way. And even though I don't play it because it doesn't fall, it's not my exact cup of tea, but it
I,
is a really good
I,
game for what it is.
every time I touch a little bit on it, I need to stop because I know that I'm playing something else, and if I get hooked on it, I just
Ugh,
whatever I'm playing, it's just gonna end up
it,
hacked away.
it's literally the void of space, my friend.
Yes, it is a
Getting
void
sucked
space.
into a
Yes,
black hole.
you need to get on it, Mad Dog, if you get the chance sometime. So let's go ahead and go back to Borderlands 3, but this time the definitive edition on Google Stadia.
oh,
No, I'm kidding. It's not called. There's no definitive edition, and especially not on Google Stadia because
I don't know. Those ads make it sound like it's a godlike device, Like those
I know
ads really, really sell it.
right. Well, Borderlands 3 Stadia version is 2 months out of date. Uh, Borderlands 3 is yet another Google Stadia release that isn't up to par. Borderlands 3 launched on Stadia a couple of days ago. They will be on December 18, I believe, with a decent discount across all versions. Unfortunately, this isn't the most up to date build of the game available on other platforms. Developer Gearbox confirmed that the Stadia build is from October 24, which means it's nearly 2 months older than the most current versions available on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Things like the Mayhem 4 difficulty, uh, take down at the Maliwan black site, and even the more friendly boss loot patrols
mhm.
uh, are not currently available in the Stadia version. Gearbox did not explain why this disparity exists, but it said that it quotes aim to achieve parity for all versions of Borderlands 3 early in 2020. Over and on Reddit, players are reporting a 4K 30 frames per second experience, although others were able to get a 60 frames per second at 1080p using the balanced quality settings. This is more in line with games like Red Dead Redemption 2, which also switches up the frame rate depending on the quality selected. And by the way, this is courtesy of VG247. So another it's like talking about the game, the gift that keeps on giving, right?
Mhm.
Another version of a game on Stadia that is somehow uh it's kneecap in some way or another. I thought the promise of Stadia was that 4K 60 frames per second, and we're not getting that here, and we're not even getting the most up to date version for no reason. Because honestly, I thought the idea, of Stadia. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, guys, correct me. But the idea of Stadia is that you wouldn't have to wait for patches. The game, you will start the game and it'll be patched up, ready to go. You don't have to go like with a console or a PC and have to wait for a download to finish.
That's
Hey,
what those
that's
ads
what
say.
Right?
the ads say.
Yeah, right. Am I right? On Google Stadia, it's supposed to be instant, except that, oh no, wait, you have to wait 2 months for the latest patch to be applied. But hey, at least you can play the game, right?
First off, I just want to say that Mr. Chaos, I need you to stay out of my head, sir. we we have been on point with with two responses out of the blue, completely unprepared, and oh man, that's funny. All right, my last piece, guys, is pretty simple. PlayStation 4 has a holiday sale now, as which many have holiday sales, and I just wanted to point out a couple of things that you just need to go there and get if you haven't already done. This is available till January 5th, so you got some time. First off, Doom. Yes, 2016's Doom, probably the best Doom ever, is there
Yes.
for $6.
Oh
There
my
is
God.
no reason not to buy this freaking game, guys. Seriously,
Oh my
uh,
God.
$6
Just
is a steal.
wait now.
Oh,
Can you give that game to someone? Can you
I
give
wish I
some?
could because I would like gift it to everyone. I would here's
listen.
even those who don't have PlayStation.
And
Like here, just
you
take a
get
Doom.
Doom, and you get Doom, and you get Doom. Everybody gets Doom.
Everybody's getting Doom. Jesus. Um, Sekiro Shadow Die Twice is there for $39. Is a decent one. Resident Evil 2 Remake is there for $20. Another good one to get. Outer Worlds has a small discount at $45. Then we have the Little Nightmares, excuse me, which is actually a great game, $7.49. Game of the Year edition of Hitman at $12. Senua's Sacrifice at 15. Code Vein at 36. That's actually a recent one. Control at 39. Another decent game. Days Gone earlier from this year is at $20 even. This may actually be a good buying point for anyone who's been on the fence. Blasphemous is down to $16.74, which is very specific. And A Way Out from uh, that guy from EA.
Away.
That guy from EA.
Oh,
Way Out
no, I
is
don't.
down
Of
to
course.
$15, and then of course Assassin's Creed Odyssey is down to $15. Those are some of the highlights. There's a lot of fucking games available for the sale that I have been slowly sifting through, and I feel I'm going to walk away with more games that I'm initially going to play.
Yeah, yeah. That's the Steam sale version of in console.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
Listen, if we're mentioning the best shooting games ever, then I highly recommend people to go back to Titanfall 2. Please and thank you.
Oh,
By all means,
that's, I
absolutely,
I
100%.
have to agree. Yeah.
This was a PSA.
Yes. Speaking of Respawn
Oh boy.
and Titanfall, well, not Titanfall, but Respawn may already be working on a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It
Of
looks like,
course they are.
of course they are. Yep. It looks like the makers of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order are wasting no time getting to work on a sequel. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order developer Respawn has posted 3 new job openings in the past few weeks. All 3 jobs are specifically for the Star Wars team, as the respective page notes. Spotted by Games Radar, the listings are for a senior character artist, a level designer, and senior software engineer. The job description makes it very clear that those accepted will be working on a Star Wars game, though it has no indication of whether this is a sequel for Jedi Fallen Order or a different project. Uh, as as the site notes, EA holds out the right to Star Wars console games until 2023. So there is every opportunity for the publisher to invest in more Star Wars games. Beyond that, Jedi Fallen Order itself has been successful, with EA calling it the fastest selling digital launch for a Star Wars game. The game also ranked number 2 in November's NPDs. It's unlikely a sequel will be announced so close to the original release, so it may be a while before EA is ready to reveal details officially. So, yes, I would say give me give me more Fallen Order. I did enjoy that game, and it'll be awesome to get a sequel. I will also say no. Don't give me so close to this one because it's really not necessary. Let this one breathe a little bit.
I would say, yeah.
Don't rush anything. And also, I'm good with. I think I had enough of Kyle for one. Kyle Skywalker or whatever his name is. Not Skywalker. Sorry, a lightsaber.
Oh yes, Kyle Moonraker. Yes.
Kyle Moonraker. Dude, that is so a Star Wars name. Kyle's Moonraker. Dude, that is a point. That is a point. You know what? I'm just gonna give you a bonus news for that one.
Oh, thank you. Hit us up.
Thank you very much. Another He-Man animated show coming to Netflix from Mattel TV. Netflix is headed back to Eternia to explore the world and the lives of its inhabitants. And no, we're not talking about the Masters of the Universe Revelation series, of which Kevin Smith is the showrunner. I didn't even know that was actually, or maybe I did. Maybe someone mentioned it. Anyway, Mattel TV and Netflix have announced another series titled He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Oh God. Oh God. A new CG animated series will be hitting the stream services in the near future. So they're going for the CG route. Okay.
Okay.
The official synopsis reads: on the planet of Eternia, a young lost prince discovers the powers of Grayskull and transforms into He-Man and the master of the universe. The classic battle between He-Man and evil Skeletor rages to new heights as both hero and villain forge new and mighty teams. A new generation of heroes fighting for the fate of us all. In the end, who will become the master of the universe? Spoiler alert, it's going to be He-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, why can't I stop thinking about Robot Chicken when they talk about CGI He-Man?
There you go. We already had it.
We already had it. Come on, guys. Give me something new.
You are 20 years too late. We already have that. And that's all I got for news.
Awesome, guys. All right. We'll be right back, guys, with our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
And we're back, guys, and it is time for our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic. Everybody came in later, too early.
Somebody's not that interested in the hot topic, evidently.
Hot topic. Woo!
Sorry to be boring you, sir.
This is the reason why everybody listens to this podcast. Of course, the whole entire world is for the topical topic of the week.
I agree, 100%. This week's hot topic, guys, is our GG's Game of the Year Awards.
GG.
All right, guys. So we have several categories. We're going to work our way up, obviously, to the Game of the Year, and we're going to start with the obvious one, the best old game. Best old game, guys, is simple. It's a game that did not come out in 2019, came out before 2019, but you played for the first time, or sure, we can say you may have played it again, whichever you want to look at it. Something that you want to recognize is still good or is good, period, but didn't get a chance to when it first released. I am going to start to kind of give you guys time because my fellow cohorts here are still, their lists are a little fluid at the moment. So
I have a question. No, my list is set. My list is set.
Okay.
Now I have it ready, but I was doing it in the format of the awards where I have a top 3 for every category, and then I realized that you only needed to mention one, or at least your list, you're only gonna mention one.
Correct. There's just one, just what I consider this year to be my best old game.
Without a lot of fanfare, can I still do my top 3 since I've worked so hard to put them in order?
Sure.
All right.
All right.
I'm just gonna need you. Maybe I spent too much time on number 2 and 3.
No. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. Yeah. All right.
So my best old game of this year was Hitman. Was it 2016? I think it came out, maybe 2017.
Hitman, yeah, original 2016.
Yeah, was an excellent game, guys. I spent lots of time playing it. I enjoyed a lot of the maps. I constantly revisited. I think Paris I did so many freaking times. It was ridiculous. Just the level of detail that they put to everything. One, the way it looks, what you can do, the options. There's just so many things you can do on it. And I played it this year for the first time. I actually haven't played a Hitman for a long time, not since Hitman Contracts, which was, I believe, PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken. So this was a while ago. And getting back to the franchise, it's clear that the Eidos was or Crystal Dynamics, one of the two, I don't know. And they basically they love this series and they know what the hell they're doing. And man, I was not ready to be so engulfed in that particular game. So my best old game, guys, for this year was Hitman. Who wants to go next there?
I'll pick it up. For me, my best old game for 2019 is Marvel Spider-Man.
Ooh.
Yes. It came out. Yeah, it came out last year in September. I didn't play it until this year, and it is the very first platinum trophy I ever earned.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. I have yet to earn one.
Really? Oh, to me, this game deserved it. So it's every second I spent in it, I enjoyed it, except when I was chasing against those goddamn drones.
I can't even argue.
But even then, it had its moments when you actually caught the drift of it and you actually moved as fluid as you're supposed to while chasing the drone. It actually made you feel like a complete badass until inevitably you got stuck into a stupid pipe because it got in the way and the drone just flew away. God damn it.
I hear you. No, that's a great that's a great selection. One of my favorite games last year, Spider-Man. My dog, Hitman developers actually IO Interactive. So they deserve the what's up. All right.
I wanted to mention real quick that that game, Marvel Spider-Man, actually made me cry.
Dude, yeah, that game was that ending was solid.
Yes.
Those final moments were, I hear you. It choked me up a little bit too. Yeah. Even though it was very obvious what was going to happen, but still, that speaks volume of how well they developed that.
I think because it was obvious, it only hurt more.
Yeah, to see it. Great. All right, my turn. So, which one's the category?
Best old game.
Best old game. That's right. Of course, we're talking about Spider-Man. Hello. So, best old game that I played this year, and in the order, number 3 being No Man's Sky. For the little bit that I put on it, I have a lot of fun with it. Katamari Damacy goes number 2 because that game is incredible, and I will recommend everybody to play that, including you, Mad Dog.
Okay.
Well, obviously, my number 1 game is, I will say, the game that I spend most of the year playing. Actually, it goes to none other than The Witcher 3.
Of course.
I finally got into The Witcher 3. And I probably should have put it into my most disappointed. No, I'm kidding. Although we got too much of identical endings for me to get excited about, the payoff. But it's still a great game.
That's how in sync you are with your bro. That's all it means.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I feel like the game cheats a little bit because it feels like at the end, like none of what you're actually doing in the game matters tremendously towards the ending. Yeah, it changes a little bit, some few things here and there, but the actual thing that matter comes down to two decisions that are not really that important, and suddenly like you are, it's changing the course of the world. There's two particular decisions that are kind of insignificant in the scheme of things. It kind of like the game cheats you at the end, or at least that's how I felt like. But that said, it without a doubt, it is still an amazing feat and probably one of the most beautiful and well-developed worlds in this generation, I will say. So yeah, Witcher 3 gets my vote.
I completely agree with that, especially with the generation part. Like, I mean, I haven't played a whole lot of it, but I have dove into the world through the books, and obviously a little bit I played of the game. And I gotta say, it's such an amazing world, like the lore and everything in it.
Yeah.
I honestly can't wait to watch this goddamn show.
For real. Easily.
Go ahead, man.
All right. So the next category that we're going to bring up here is going to go to best style. For me, best style I had to give to Control. Control is probably one of the weirdest games that you'll play, if outside of Death Stranding, for the record. So it is, as you know, it takes place in the oldest building, which actually has designs that actually exist. Like there was a purpose behind the design. Actually, I did a crazy deep dive on some of the background of where they were getting the design for the game, and forget it. This game, I had so much fun with this game. I love the little aspects of the little powers that she developed, particularly the telekinesis. It's probably one of the most fun games that include telekinesis. I haven't played a game in a while that has that. I'm trying to think of this PS2 game. It doesn't come to mind now, but that had that. And that was like the last one that really was like, ooh, man, throwing things around with your mind is pretty cool. Here it's just so much fun. It really had its own odd little just design, just design of everything that it had, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the heck out of it, and it's a shame because it's probably not I think we looked at it and it's not doing well when it comes to sales or something like that, but it really deserves people to play it. It's just this awesome little title from the makers of Alan Wake. Was it Remedy?
Yeah,
No,
Remedy.
Remedy, yeah.
Yes.
The makers of Alan Wake, and it really deserves some attention. And when it comes to what I've played this year, that I can say really caught me, it felt to me, and I said it before, it felt like X-Files. It felt like a lot of these weird sci-fi shows and movies that I love to freaking dig into, that I know are really nerdy half the time, but I just love them anyway. And so that's kind of what I got out of that game, and that's why I really, and I can't wait. I still have it there, and I can't wait for the DLC that's coming out that they have planned for it. So my best style goes to Control.
That's awesome. Chaos?
Yeah, this is where my list gets a little flimsy.
At the very beginning?
Well, you see, I really didn't play a whole lot of games this year, if I'm honest. And I didn't really play anything that blew my mind in terms of style. So I honestly have nothing on this category.
Oh my God! But there is, dude. There is a game right there that you have played quite a bit. I happen to have it in good authority. That you played quite a bit. That just oozes with style, and I cannot believe. It's a little indie title called Apex Legends. Hello, thank you very much. I'm gonna give you that for free. There you go.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
yeah, you're right. Listen, man.
There you go.
You know what's funny? I did have Apex down here, and but I never really thought about it as with a stylistically, I guess. Is that a word?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see it. The characters with all different attitudes, and And some even you don't even know exactly what they are.
Ooh, I love
Uh,
Mirage. I love the healed lady. I forgot her name. I'm so sorry.
Lifeline, and I got her
Lifeline.
skin by the way.
Yeah, my girl,
Yes.
Lifeline. Yes, dude, that game. You know what? I need to add that on my list. Fuck. That's right.
Oh,
Well, I
wow.
mean,
All right.
I'm here to play Apex whenever you guys are ready. You know that.
Goodbye.
But you're
I
right.
have
You
to
know what?
re-download that.
I should be sorry for not actually thinking of Apex. I didn't
Shoot.
really see it
I
that way
cannot
at
believe
all.
I didn't think of it until now. I was like,
I
oh,
mean,
wait a minute.
seriously, like with the skins and everything,
Yeah.
especially on the guns, now you can add charms. And like, yeah, you gotta go through the battle pass and shit for it. But I mean, for the free game that it is and the content that it brings,
Yeah.
I pay it. I pay that 10. And even then, if you buy the first battle pass and you go through the whole thing, it actually gives you enough coins for you to buy the next battle pass.
Yeah, there you go. They're fair
Yeah,
also, but
yeah.
that's not. Yeah, that's it's the style is what matters in this
Yeah.
category, and I think that game has it in droves. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and bump off Control off my list because yeah, Apex Legend is. I feel like it's definitely more stylish than that. So that's my number three.
Oh,
My number two game, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but you completely diss. If there was ever a diss of the year, it'll be the fact that the Messenger came out this year.
I don't think so, but let
No,
me see.
check the year on that
Yeah,
because if
we'll
it
look it up. Yeah,
because
we'll look.
I feel like it did, and if it
Okay,
did, that game needs to be there. You know that
let's
game needs
see.
to be there. If not, I have a backup. Don't you worry, child. The Messenger release date, please. Drum roll says.
Released? What the hell? Came out for Nintendo Switch.
I
You know, but
forgot this is the top three.
yes, my yes.
it's, it's
But
Dream's top three.
I need
It
to.
is
When it came out.
2018, sir.
Okay, then that's fine.
August. Yeah.
How about Katana Zero? Because that would be
That came
my
out this year.
Katana
That came out
Zero
this
did
year.
come out this year. Yeah.
Katana
Yeah.
Zero. So okay, so my list then it'll be Control number three, Apex Legends number two, and Katana Zero. The diss of the year. It's my more style game of this year. Tell me I'm wrong.
Of the year.
Tell me I'm wrong.
It's got style, sir, but when I
Yeah.
compare the two, I'm sorry, Control takes the cake.
No, I'm
Oh,
sorry. It's okay to be
yeah.
wrong.
Katana Zero. Okay.
Yes, that
All
game oozes. Just oozes like disgusting, like oozes style. Go ahead,
Fair
take
enough.
it.
Fair enough.
It's
The
a lot
next
of
category.
losing.
Yeah, it is a lot of
Yeah.
losing. Next category is going to go to best story. And best story for me has to go to A Plague Tale.
Yes.
Innocence. This is it is independent. I want to say it's an independent game, or an indie game. Excuse me. Amazing title. This is a game that is on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, it's on PC. It is a story of these two young kids during a plague through the French countryside. It is well acted. It's well designed. It's just a surprise. It's just a surprise of a game. I wasn't expecting to have such a great experience. It's very single player focused, very like Uncharted, right? You're just kind of going through areas and moving on and do what you got to do. And so the story is just great. Is to be fair, when I look at games that came out this year, if this was any other year, maybe it wouldn't have gotten there. But this is that one that was just like, man, it's there are moments in this story where you have to put in your hands your little brother or the life of someone else, and obviously you gotta make the choice, and obviously the game is going to go a certain route, but there is repercussions to that, and there are some great characters, some great scenery. This may have been just my biggest surprise as well. But when it comes to the story that I really got into for this year, when I think of a game, I definitely think of A Plague Tale, and I can definitely that's my best story.
I can see it. I can see it because I saw you playing that game, and yeah, it looked all sorts of amazing.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So for me, best story, I picked Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers,
Yes.
which decidedly I haven't finished yet because just difficulties lately and whatnot. But what I played so far of it, which I'm fairly ahead in it, even though I'm still not that close to the end. I'm up to like the level 78 quest.
Damn.
But yeah, um, I mean, these stories are long, especially since you gotta like go through all these like menial quests in between. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
you always you're the hero of darkness, you're the savior of the world, but you gotta go carry this crate to that corner over there and get handed off to somebody else. Very important stuff. Very
Yes.
important. But okay, like I said, in this story, this whole time you've always been the warrior of light in your realm, right? And suddenly you get transported down to this other realm, and now this realm is flooded with light. So now you're fighting against what you're supposed to be originally, right?
Defending. I like
Right,
that.
right.
I
So you
like that.
become the warrior of darkness, and these
Nice.
places are plagued by daylight, 24/7, until you come along and you start knocking down some fools, and you bring the nice guy back to all these cities, to all these parts of the realm.
Nice.
Yeah, and you get hailed as a hero, and obviously with the heroes come villains. So, you know, and it, I don't know, it feels like they're going with this. When you have too much of a good thing,
Yeah.
look, it can still go wrong.
Wrong. Well,
Right.
yeah. I like games when they play with the anti-hero. I like that. I like that idea.
Oh my God, and that's what is the contrast of it, like this world of light, but the story is decidedly dark.
Yeah. I like when they do that. Yeah.
The moments in it, not just because you're the warrior of darkness, just the moments in it. There are some sad moments in this story of characters that you meet that suffer this horrible end that they didn't deserve,
Hmm.
and you end up like fighting them and shit.
Mm.
That's really cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool. I gotta say, I envy you guys. You guys had your moment, your momentous story. I play games for the story. Like I don't try to play them to get good or to be the best or anything like that, or to
That's why you
get
never join my
platinum.
chat parties. I know.
Right, right. I like to play games just to cause, consume the content, that the story that it gives me. And there have been in the past some games that have delivered in droves. 2019, unfortunately, was not a year where I could say any game in particular like blew me away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to pass on this category. I really have nothing
Fair
to
enough.
offer it. Anything else?
No, no, fair enough. Like I said, if it wasn't for a Plague Tale, I'd probably be in the same boat that you are because I didn't. Nothing else stood out, and this is not a knock against a Plague Tale either. Plague Tale is actually pretty good, but it's also in a year that there wasn't a lot of story based awesome games that stand out.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I 100% completely agree. I understand 100%. All right, let's move on to best soundtrack. My best soundtrack of the year, guys, has to go to Death Stranding because that freaking soundtrack is so freaking great.
Mhm.
First off, I don't know if you've seen the Spotify playlist of this thing, but it's over 100 tracks. It
Wow.
is, it is a great. It is honestly that game would be half the game without that particular soundtrack. Low Roar, right? Is that
Low
the
roar.
Low Roar? Is the name of the main one that kind of it was almost
The main
this
band that
yeah,
offered
yeah,
almost all the songs.
yeah, and it was this thing that it was given to you when you were coming close to successfully completing a particular run, and it was amazing. It was
Or
amazing.
Poniac
Actually,
moments.
yeah, I actually made a video of a specific one when I got to Lake Knot City, I think is what it was going to, because it's just this wonderful moment, and it's just like it's you've passed the worst of it, and you're just getting to where you need to get to, and the music comes on, and you're just it almost pushes you forward a little bit more. And I gotta say, man, the soundtrack of this game is probably one of the best soundtracks, not of just this year, but of a long time. It's really, really good. Really, really good. I can definitely recommend you guys checking that out. So my best soundtrack goes to Death Stranding.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. So for me, I'm gonna give it to Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
Now, mind you,
Orchestral.
I'm not. Yeah, but I mean, because it goes so well, especially like the fight against Sofijiva.
Hmm?
That like just the music in it just it's intense. And then that moment when that attack happens, that it just everything goes silent. It's such an amazing moment to experience the first time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I'm not exactly one to actually pay so much attention to soundtracks. I don't know the name of the songs. I never actually look it on Spotify or anything. But when if I do notice it, then it stands out because I usually don't notice them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that says it all. That's almost proof of the pudding.
Right. So yeah,
All
that's
right.
my best soundtrack for
Awesome.
2019.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, definitely 2019. A little dry on soundtracks that I would say that I liked, that I enjoyed. That said, I have to mirror the sentiments of Mad Dog in this one. Absolutely, 100%. That Stranding soundtrack is amazing. It's definitely something different. I wouldn't say it's necessarily for everyone. Uh, and it's I also wouldn't say it's one of the best soundtracks of all time, but certainly one of the best soundtrack in recent memory. And it's because it definitely knows how to set that tone of solitude, of almost like hopelessness. In some cases, a lot of melancholic tunes that go very well with what that world is trying to convey.
Hmm.
Yes, absolutely, the music from Low Roar was amazing. I particularly loved a tune from a guy called uh, I think his name is pronounced uh, Gen Hoshino.
Mm.
The name of the song is Pop Virus,
Oh, okay.
and it was because it was at it, it gives me good memories of particularly of that game because it was like a lot of people used to build those the timefall on the rainfall called time,
Hmm.
the rainfall on that game kind of like hurts your the delivery, the packages that you carry, right? So you go into these shelters, and some people will upgrade the shelters, and the upgrades will be dumb. It will be like, okay, now you can play any song from the soundtrack on this shelter. So it was kind of silly. And for some reason, a lot of the shelters that I will encounter will have that song playing. So I'll be there in the shelter waiting for the rainfall to pass, listening to this catchy tune. And I enjoyed it so much that I ended up just getting the song actually on iTunes,
Nice.
because of how much I enjoy it. And I do like to listen to that soundtrack on Spotify, even though the version I found I didn't see that it had a lot of the song, all the songs. So I might be looking at a different playlist.
Oh, I'll share it with you.
But
It's
yeah,
worth
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yes, please, because that the soundtrack of Death Stranding is awesome.
Awesome. All right. Let's go to one of the more stranger categories, and it's going to be the best character of 2019, best video game character. And this one was a little bit difficult for me. This was probably the one that I was like, it was. I don't want to say I was sifting through things. It was just really like I wanted to find someone that really just like man stood out. And believe it or not, I guess I'm not the only one who saw it. I have to go with the character of Cliff Unger of Death Stranding. So this is a character that's actually played by Mads Mikkelsen, the actor. and has his likeness in the game. He really, I think we even said it. He was really the one character that had all the facets that you want of a great character. He had his success, he had his fall, he had his good moments, his bad moments. He had everything in there. Of all the characters in Death Stranding, he definitely stood out immediately. And it's funny because not at first. I should have to say that. Maybe not at first. At first, he didn't really stand out. It was just like these little moments. You're not really sure. Why am I seeing these weird flashbacks? Oh, I guess BB is just somehow connected to him and all this. And it becomes this thing. And before you know it, his character has so much more to offer than you expected, than I expected. And so I have to definitely give it to him. And I also wanted to point out that it could have been a completely different Cliff Unger if things would have gone the other way. So a little fun fact: according to Hideo Kojima, so the character that plays Hartman is actually a movie director, a known movie director. His name is Nicholas Winding Refn, and Nicholas Winding Refn recommended Keanu Reeves for the role of Cliff Unger.
Oh wow!
And
really,
yes. So
that would have been amazing.
I mean, I don't know.
I would have been amazing in the sense that. Forget this Walking Dead dudes. Sorry. This game is about Keanu Reeves. I even forgot the name.
I mean, I think I would have owned it by now.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. So it's an interesting little fun fact there. But no, Matt Mikkelsen, props, best character of the year for me.
Awesome.
Okay, so for me, this is an interesting pick, and what is wrong with you? It didn't really take me that long to get to this choice, but I chose Modern Warfare's Captain Price.
Whoa, okay.
You meant Mirage from Apex, but I'm gonna let that.
I mean, have you played? And honestly, I wanted to mention this when we were covering best story, especially since Dream didn't have one. But I would like to mention as a runner-up the story of Modern Warfare, which I really did enjoy.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
I heard it's
yes, and Captain Price is a badass all the way through. I mean, he's exactly what you were expecting him from before. Like, so they really didn't change him much, but that's exactly what we all wanted, though. And he steals the show every time that he's there.
Nice.
He's got a presence.
Bad mother.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, to me, that is my character for 2019.
Awesome. Nice. Well, I seem to have had a few contenders for this one, but only obviously with just one winner. But I'll definitely want to give honorable mention to the character of, and I'm gonna mispronounce this, or who knows. Grease Detritus. Who gives a shit? He is the alien character. He's the alien character. I'm gonna tell you. He's the alien character on that is an ally on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay.
He is the little alien. And I just like his style, even though it always trips me whenever I see an alien with a big, like, with a very different mouth, but the words that come out, they just talk perfect English, or maybe with an accent, if anything. That always tripped me, but whatever, it's Star Wars, so who cares? He's a fun character. Parvati from
from Outer Worlds.
From the Outer Worlds. I love that chick. It is amazing. So she plays this. She's like a mechanic, right? Or this engineer.
Engineer.
Like an engineer. You take your own quest. She falls in love with this other engineer who she meets at this
at this space station, and then one of the missions basically have you like helping her up to setting her up, helping to set up, basically to get
them together.
To get them together. She's a gay character that is not like over, like they don't play that part like overly. It's like it take it like completely normal, and she is voiced by one of my favorite voice actresses, which is the lady that played Aloy.
Aloy,
what's her name? Blanking out at the top of my head.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'll find her. Yeah.
She also plays Tiny Tina. She does a lot of voice acting. Tiny Tina in Borderlands 2, although not particularly fond of that character in itself. And he's gonna find it anyway. That is.
I love Tiny Tina.
Ashley Birch.
Thank you. Yeah, Ashley Birch. She's awesome, talented lady. I do fantastic. Bravadi's off. But my number one has to be Cliffhanger. Also, let's be real here.
Props, sir.
Let's be real here.
Dude, it's too cool.
It is definitely one of those. And man, it was annoying to get his cutscenes sometimes because it'll be like that they will usually happen on the elevator as as you were going out to the world. And they will play for like a minute or so. They will always extend your loading time, but you still have to admire the just like you said, he's very it has a word and I forget what the word is, but it's multifaceted. That he is. Like he has moments of happiness, moments of sadness, of grief.
You're talking about his range of emotions?
Yes, yeah. He's
and I mean, a lot of this has to come also from the people pulling that in from the game, because you got to be able to make that to be part of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the voice and everything is pretty much there, and yes, there's a lot of motion capture. So he has that. He has that as well. So his voice, his motion capture, and they're also capturing his face as well. So he is emoting a lot of this. And props to obviously the makers of the game to successfully bring that over to the game as
well. Also, he my bro was playing on his birthday, and he personalized a cutscene to wish him a happy birthday. and I thought that was amazing. And
I assure you, guys, that is not the reason why I picked him as a character.
Oh no! I mean,
fact. It's a fun fact. I will never. That's actually one to him and two to Hideo Kojima and Kojima Productions. It's just like that was probably one of the best gaming moments of this year for me, because it was just like out of the blue, and I could have completely missed it too.
It kind of reminded me of Metal Gear Solid 2 when at the end Raiden takes out a dog tag that he found, because that was the thing of that game, collecting dog tags, and he takes out the dog tags, and Snake asks him, who is that? And he looks at the dog tag, and then you look at the dog tag. It shows your name, your date of birth, and like your blood type or something like that. And then Raiden goes like, some unknown person or something like that. And it was on your name's on the cutscene, and I was like, I love you, Kojima. I realized I forgot that at the very beginning of that fucking game, you made me put my name and my date of birth for some reason, and that's how it showed up at the end. And yeah,
and there it is.
There it is.
The one cutscene that you won't see unless you actually play the game and do a specific thing on your birthday.
Yes, probably by accident.
Are you serious?
Yes. Check out the GG YouTube page, because I saved it and put it up that you can see what exactly it is, because it was awesome. I happened to play after midnight on a night that I wasn't expecting. I normally don't play that far into it. I used to play after midnight, and I did the one thing that would trigger a cutscene with Cliffhanger, and it was a completely different one that I was like, whoa! So
Yeah.
props to that. All right, let's move on, guys. Biggest disappointment of 2019. My biggest disappointment, guys, is a little title from a company called Night School Studio, and it is a game called After Party. After Party. So here's where the disappointment comes in. First
I thought
off,
you like that.
but I did like it. And for the record, let me explain. Night School made one of my favorite games of the past called Oxenfree. Great game. And that game is a simple side scroller. It's got some whatever, and it ran just fine. But After Party chugged like nothing else. And it just, at some point, I was just like, and I get it, guys. It's a technical thing, but this game is not, that's such of a big game that you have to be able to, you know what I mean? There was not a lot into this game where it's like, why is it chugging so much? And it just kept knocking me out of the game. Not physically, like I wasn't going back to the menu or anything like that, but it kept taking me out of what's
It broke the
happening.
immersion.
Yeah, it broke the immersion, yeah. And so because of that, it's just like, man, this game, because it was so well written. It was so well written and so well voice acted. But I just couldn't get past that. I was just like, man, why is this thing just? And I mean, it was a miracle because there's sometimes it froze for easily 5 seconds. I'm going, oh, this is gonna fucking freeze out on me. You know what I mean? I thought it was just gonna completely crash. And to its credit, it never actually did. It made it through, but it just kept messing with my experience. And so it's a shame because I was actually looking forward to this game, and overall, like I said, I still think the game is good. But man, there's just there's no excuse. The game is not that freaking technically, challenging. It's just it should run way better.
Yeah.
And it did, and it messed up my experience with it. So my biggest disappointment is as After Party.
After Party. Wow. Did not expect that one.
Well, poor After Party. My biggest disappointment of 2019 is none other than a little indie title known as Anthem. God, my expectations were high and the hype was real.
From that indie studio EA.
Yeah, from the really small developer.
DICE and who did that game? Oh, BioWare. Fuck. Wow. Yes.
Now,
a little indie studio.
I played the beta, it was the beta with Mad Dog.
I was gonna say we played, yeah.
So we played it, and we agreed that the feeling was amazing, the flying, the look of it, the world. Like this is awesome. And the missions were simple, sure, but it is a beta. Apparently, that was also the whole game.
Yes, loading times galore. I heard.
Yeah, and then not even that, like the weapon drops. Even on late game, they looked exactly the same as early game. And what is wrong with you? Like my mind went crazy with like the possibilities of mechs that you could possibly create, and this is the best you can give us?
Yeah.
Like, come on, guys. And everything fell apart. From the story, you had the loading times, you couldn't stray away from your group because it will load you back into your group.
Yeah.
It
would teleport you in a bad way.
It was just, it fell flat on its face. It took off like Iron Man that very first time and just and never got up.
He splattered.
Wow. Never got up.
Wow. Disappointment.
You know that scene where the robot comes in and like sprays him with the extinguisher?
Yeah.
Yeah, well they used a gun instead of the extinguisher for this game.
There you go. Wow.
Nice.
All right, so disappointing games. Wow, I didn't care much for Gears 5. I gotta be honest with you. It was that thing with it tried to do a semi-open world, but it didn't really work very well. It was kind of boring, and it took away from what Gears really is. Also, it's called Gears of War. I hated the fact that they changed the name to Gears because I don't know what the fuck they were Microsoft trying to do with it, make it more family friendly, as if
That's what they added parasailing.
So stupid. Oh yeah, exactly. No, fuck that game. But that's not the biggest disappointment. I have to mention this one, even though I didn't play it. But this game is disappointing because I was looking forward to it, and that was Crackdown 3,
Mm.
and that game is shit. So we don't need to say much of it.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
proven shit.
It's proven shit. The power of the cloud, guys. Remember the power of the cloud
The
was
infinite
with this
power of
game.
the cloud.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe it was powered by Stadia servers. Or something. Um, and definitely hated the fact that, man, I wanted to like Ace Combat Skies Unknown,
Mm.
but that game, it was just, the whole game is just missile, 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 missile. I haven't fucking taken off, and there's missile on my ass already. So that was a disappointment. And I'm sorry, I made this list long because obviously there was a lot of disappointment. But the true disappointing game of this freaking year had to be none other than Wolfenstein, the bitch, whatever the hell was the daughters of whatever. What was it called? That Wolfenstein, the Who
Young
Cares?
blood. Yeah,
Young Blood. Yeah. Wolfenstein, fuck that game. Fuck those characters. Like, fuck what they try to do with it. Fuck Bethesda. Like,
On top of everything.
on
fuck
top of everything,
Bethesda.
completely ruined. Like, ruined it. Like, ruined the entire, with the franchise with just that one game. Like, to the point where if they make a Wolfenstein 3, you're gonna have to show me the receipts. I'm not gonna. That's not longer a day. That's not longer a reliable day one.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And neither will Doom. Neither will Doom be. Doom Eternal. That is. But yeah, that's my most disappointing.
Awesome. All right, guys. Let's shake off some of that disappointment and go with the biggest surprise.
Biggest surprise.
For me, guys, this is gonna be so left field. I don't even think any of you are gonna understand.
I know which one exactly. I know which one exactly. I know exactly which one it is. Literally. You want me to write it down so you know that I am?
Because I said left field. Is that
Not because of that.
Oh.
Not because of that, but you just confirm it to me. That's exactly the one I was thinking about. Go ahead.
MLB The Show
I knew
2019.
You don't fool me, son. You don't fool me.
I haven't played a video game. A baseball game since like RBI on freaking Super Nintendo. And even then, it was never that type of game that I was all into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But dude, MLB The Show got me. It just hey, to be fair, this was a PlayStation Plus game that came free for the month that it came, whatever it came out. And it was there for a little while. I just tagged it. I was like, whatever. And then I had a lull, and I was like, well, let me throw it on and see what it's about, because if there's anything, I could just get it off my radar. And no, it stayed on my radar for a while. I played many of freaking baseball games, and I'm just going, why am I still playing this fucking game? You know what I mean?
Baseball, yo, baseball. Also, not even Madden, but baseball.
It's just so weird.
It was just so odd, dude. And I'm gonna tell you,
weird.
my favorite part of this game had to be when the announcer said, "Up next," or "Up at bat, Mad Dog Martin," and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so good every freaking time that he said, I was like, yes. I have nothing else to say other than I can't believe. Now, to be fair, I don't have the game anymore. I already uninstalled it because I got my fill of it, and I don't think I'm going to spend money on it. It's just that game that I can't believe I spent more than 5 hours on. Yeah, I spent more than that. I spent a good 10 to 15 hours in this game, and at no point did I feel like I wasn't enjoying. I was enjoying this game.
That game also, surprisingly enough, what you would think of a Sony exclusive, because it is right now.
Yeah.
But it's planned on being released, still polished by Sony or whatever, or developed, multi-platform.
Yeah, it's coming to everything, even Switch.
Which sounds crazy. It's so weird.
It's odd.
The sky is falling, and this is the end of the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely, yeah.
All right. So for my biggest surprise of 2019, I didn't necessarily play this game, but it was just how well received it came out to be. That was surprise enough for me to put it here. And obviously, it's Star Wars Fallen Order.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Okay.
talk to me, son. You're talking my language.
My friend, I had no expectations for this game. Like, why would I? Look what they did with Anthem.
It's EA. I know.
I
Shocking.
know. I mean, yeah, it's Respawn. Sure, they gave us Apex. Okay.
And Titanfall 2 and
And
1.
Titanfall 2, which, again, should definitely get back on it. Definitely one of the best shooters ever made.
Yeah.
Fight me.
Preach, brother. Preach. Preach.
Listen, don't get me started. Um, but I mean, yeah, you mentioned earlier, I think the walking cycle was weird.
Yeah, he looks just too silly walking. Like,
But
como si se estuviera cagando. It's just weird.
oh my god! But just how well received the game is, to the point that already a sequel is in the works. Like that to me just blows my mind.
Yeah.
And honestly, unfortunately, that's all I have to say about it until I actually play it. Which God knows, maybe it'll end up being my best whole game next year.
There you
Cool.
go.
Cool.
Good stuff.
I'm hoping that it becomes Mad Dog's best game, best whole game next year, so he can at least Star Wars it out because he's starved for some Star Wars.
Fat chance, bro.
He's starved wars. Okay, so my biggest surprise actually, um, this year, and I'm gonna put third place Monster Boy. It's surprised not in the sense that I wasn't expecting it to be great, but Monster Boy is a sequel, or yeah, it's a sequel to a really old Sega Master System game called Wonder Boy in the Dragon's Trap,
Mhm.
which in itself is a sequel to Monster Boy and Monsterland. The thing is, they actually kind of redid or remade the Wonder Boy the Dragon Trap, except they just call it the Dragon's Trap for some reason, and it's a beautiful game. It's gorgeous. The gameplay is a little too faithful to its 8-bit era. So that's the only thing that holds me from giving it a full recommendation. Although it's still a great, a great side scroller, very interesting and very charming. And Wonder Boy and sorry, and Monster Boy just it takes that and expand it into like, okay, we're gonna make a brand new game, for this generation. It's available on Switch, on PC, and I want to probably on the other consoles as well, but I'm not sure. Um, Dude, it's fantastic. You guys should definitely give it a shot if you see it, and it's available for your respective platforms. Katana Zero was surprising because that game was really really cool, and I already mentioned that game is best style, so but definitely deserves mention on best surprise. However, my biggest surprise this year was none other than Apex Legends.
Mm.
And the reason I say that is because that game almost literally came out of nowhere. Almost literally came out of nowhere, I would say, because it wasn't a game that was announced before with a lot of fanfare or anything like that. I think that game came out in February of this year, I want to say, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes.
And it was a game that suddenly some YouTube people and some Twitch uh, influencers was playing like secretly,
Hmm.
and they were and they were like hyping it up. When the curtain was unveiled of this game, and suddenly there was a game from the makers of Titanfall 2, one of my favorite games, and just like you said, Chaos, one of the best shooters,
Ever made,
time.
hands
Yeah,
down.
yeah. I was stunned. I was stunned that was happening, and from fucking like a game from
Yo,
EA.
that game came out of nowhere, running just with a running start and drop kick the shit out of Fortnite, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And if it was, I would say, if it wasn't that Fortnite is just such a giant
It's a machine.
behemoth right
Yeah, it's a
now,
machine. Yeah.
it could have easily toppled it down, and I
Yeah, it
did.
made them stagger for sure.
Yeah, he made a stagger for sure. It didn't, but I still feel like it's resting very comfortably where it is right now in the pantheon of what do you call those type of games?
Battle Royale.
Battle royales. Thank you.
It's the
Yeah.
only Battle Royale game I play.
Yeah. It's like it's the battle royale for. I feel like this is gonna sound like very condescending, but whatever. This is GG. It's the battle royale for adults. There you go. I said it, and now I regret it.
I mean, I played with a squad of squeakers once, and we actually won the game. So props to those squeakers. They were actually really good. They were like tactical. Awesome. They were listening. Like, wow, okay, this is happening.
This is actually working. Okay.
I love that.
That's awesome. All right, guys, let's go to the most negative of this, and that is the worst game of the year. Yeah, there's got to be, it doesn't have to be a horrible game, but it has to be, your own worst game, right?
There's always one every year.
There's always one. For
dirty.
Me, it has for me, it has to be a game that I played with my wife, believe it or not. It is called Erica. This is actually a PlayStation game. It's actually a PlayStation game that uses your phone. Like you're able to just use your phone to interact. It's actually almost like an interactive film, basically, is what it is. But obviously, you have multiple endings. It's sort of an interactive thriller and all that. And frankly, it was a solid attempt, maybe.
The worst game. Wow.
But it was.
Where's Anthem here?
I haven't played. I played the what is it, the beta of Anthem, and that's all I had. That's all I had.
Yeah,
and frankly, to be fair, I enjoyed my little time with it. You know what I mean? But I did not enjoy the 2 hours and a half that I played of Erica. And the sad part is that it felt like it was going somewhere, and it didn't. No, it didn't go anywhere. And I paid full price for that fucking thing. So
wow, I'm sorry.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't a $60 game, but I still paid full price for it. I think it was like either $20 or $30 or something like that. But
you spend time playing games with your wife. I will hardly call that the worst experience of this year.
Perhaps, but guess
that's not what he said. But it was the worst game.
It's the worst game, and you know what? It doesn't help my future with having her playing games when this is the shit that I'm like, honey, I promise you, games are better than this.
You should have shown her Anthem.
Because
you enjoyed it so much.
Okay. So worst game of 2019.
Yes, sir.
Anthem.
Boom! There it is. I don't even have to say it. It already
I'm sorry.
Has
the spot. This game grabbed all of the disappointment, all of it. Every last bit of it, rolled it into a ball, and ran with that shit like it was gold.
It is this year's Fallout 76, some might say.
Yes, you might very well say that, because every update, every time they try to hype something up, it's just more of the same.
Yeah.
Over, and like at least Destiny gave us something different at some point. These people don't even try.
Yeah.
And that's, oh my God, that doesn't make it just the biggest disappointment, because it really is, because it really hurts, because I really love that beta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes it the worst game of 2019.
I'm gonna have to level with you on that one also, Chaos. And then there could not possibly be a worse game this year that what Anthem ended up being, just because for everything that they did right, which was not much, like everything else it did was exponentially wrong,
catastrophically wrong.
Yeah. Although I still gotta mention Ghost Recon Breakpoint if you want catastrophically wrong. You gotta put that there, and also you also gotta put there. Fucking Contra Rogue Corps came out this year, guys, and It was it was supposedly the sequel to a country game. It had a fucking panda. You play as a panda on the next
World of
fucking
Warcraft has pandas.
game. That doesn't make it necessary. Well, yeah, you got a point there. Yeah, but that's not Contra. That could be
I
World of
know, I
Warcraft, but
know.
I don't want fucking pandas on my Contra. Contra.
Get your World of Warcraft out of my Contra.
I'm not doing. I'm not having it. So yeah, I'm not gonna spend much time on it. Worst game is Anthem. There you go.
There you go. Worst game is Anthem. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are there. We are at our game of the years. So I'm going to throw this over to you guys to say, should we do this one at a time, 3, 2, 1, going around table, or should we just each individually give our 3, 2, 1?
Let's do 3, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1.
All right, so let's start off.
It takes longer, but it's more fun that way.
Oh, hey, it's all about fun. My number 3 for game of the year, guys, has to go to Resident Evil 2 Remake. Man, did that game deliver in freaking spades when it came to remaking a game. Resident Evil is one of my favorite franchises, and it has, unfortunately, prior to Resident Evil 7, gone a little bit like, woo, what is happening here? But Resident Evil,
very rough.
Yeah, Resident Evil 7 really brought it back. And when they mentioned that they're doing a Resident Evil 2 remake, I was a little skeptical. I was like, I don't know. We'll see what they do with it. They could not have done a better job of bringing that game back and literally just putting it right into people. It's just like this game was frantic. And yes, I know how you feel about Mr. Exeter, but man, that level of frantic nature and fear is exactly what was infused into this game that it needed, that they absolutely needed. The graphically, it just looked fucking amazing. This is a beautiful freaking game. Yeah. And the story, got revamped. It's still, it's Resident Evil's silliness sometimes in certain things, but overall, I think it did an amazing job. An amazing job. And on top of that, threw a bunch of little DLC stuff to here and there, just like they did back in the day. No extra. It was a beautiful package that they delivered to this game. And frankly, one of Capcom's best. Period.
Capcom definitely delivering this year and last year, but yeah, this year especially.
Yeah. All right. Right here real quick. My number 3 is Mortal Kombat 11.
Ooh, nice.
Mortal Kombat.
Now, while I am slightly disappointed in how the story ended, because they're basically rebooting the universe again, even though they did so with Mortal Kombat 9. Mm-hmm. I do like the game overall. Again, this comes from my short of playing games this year, but whatever. And
explain, sir.
Honestly, Spawn's gonna be in this game.
I was like,
seriously, that's the only reason I own this game. Like, this makes it one of the best fighting games ever. Period.
Of all time.
Of all time.
I love it. I freaking love it.
You should get Soul Calibur for the OG Xbox. I think it has Spawn as the character.
That was the closest I ever came to buying an Xbox.
Wow.
That says it all.
Wow.
Awesome.
All right. Game of the year of my top 3. Number 3. I have to give it to another Capcom game.
Oh.
Devil May Cry 5.
Oh,
yes.
Nice. Good
the
call.
Game that
God, somebody played it here.
YouTube dissed for some unknown reason from hell. I cannot believe you guys missed one of the best games released this year, and there weren't that many.
It wasn't by choice.
It wasn't by okay. All right, I'll give you that. But Mad Dog,
it was by choice.
It was by choice, which is shocking because you guys gave me nothing but shit for liking. For me, like preferring the DMC Dante to the Devil May Cry, and I went into Devil May Cry 5 the only bad thing is gonna have this Dante. Well, even this Dante, this version of the version of it, a more mature one, was cool, and he was cool. He was not cool. He was awesome.
Look at that.
dude, I
This
need
is
to
to
go
go down
back.
in history, right? This
I want to
episode
play
is
this game again.
historic.
I want to play this game again. This game is fantastic. I cannot believe people in the crew is missing this game right now. You could get it for like what? There's a special right now going on PS4, for like 20 something dollars. I don't know. Fucking get this game because this is one of Capcom's best offerings this year. Fuck Resident Evil 2. I mean, Resident Evil 2 is great. Don't get me wrong, but
Wow,
Devil
that
May
was a
Cry,
little rough.
Devil May Cry 5.
So for the record, okay, I don't think I ever got. I don't think personally I ever gave you crap about liking the Dantes and all that. I played one and two,
I did.
It makes more interesting
yeah,
podcasts. Yeah.
true. Also, the reason I didn't play it because I actually sat here, or maybe not here. I think you were still in your old house and watched you play for a good 20 minutes, and I was like, yeah, this is not for me. So I was like,
You must not like good games or something
I-
happened around that era,
I mean,
because
hell-
I can't think of anything you would have seen on that game that would have made you to go like, maybe not, unless
Yeah.
you're not a fan of hack and slash. If you tell me that, then that's all you have to say.
yeah, but then I have God of War, which is basically hack and slash. So I don't know. Sir.
But it's a different style, though. It's a different style of hack and slash. I would say.
No,
Maybe.
but even
Yeah.
though, yeah, I guess, yeah, you're not wrong.
Because
It wasn't made by
Japanese and
Sony. That's
Japanese-
what it is, man. That's what it
Well-
is. It wasn't made by Sony. That's what it is.
Well, I mean,
There you go.
Devil May Cry is decidedly Japanese, and you can see it in the style.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
seriously,
Very
that's
Japanese.
very Japanese.
I have not put the game down. It never called to me, and I'm gonna just move on to my second one. So, my number 2 game of the year, guys, is a title I already actually nominated earlier in the podcast, and that is Control. I don't know. I just freaking really loved everything about Control. It wasn't the best story, but it was still an interesting one. It wasn't the best gameplay, but it was still a lot of fun. The level of of just imagination that went behind putting this together, and even linking it to Alan Wake and everything. And I've never played Alan Wake, and no game has ever made me want to play a game more than this. It's like, man, it's the guys behind this game just really know how to build lore and build this world, and really just got me so into it to the point where I was so fascinated with the fucking janitor in the game. It's just like it's this
Definitely
awesome,
a cool character.
yeah, definitely a cool character, just an awesome game. And honestly, I'm a little bit sad that it's not doing as well as you, because it's one of those that, man, people should play. You don't know about it, you know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, if you start it, you will finish the shit out of this game, because it's just that cool in moments, and it has probably one of the coolest moments in gaming. And there's a section of the game. It's just one of the most coolest moments in gaming, and I was like, man, when I think back, there's a lot of moments I like about this game, but that moment right there shines. And I know it's a small moment, but the game itself is still really good. So yeah, my number 2 is Control.
Well, my number 2 is going to be really quick because, Magdoc couldn't have put it better earlier, but it's Resident Evil 2.
Nice. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't finished it, but what I played of it, I absolutely loved the atmosphere, that tension that is just palpable in the air at all moments. That's why you play a Resident Evil game.
Hell freaking yeah. Hell freaking yeah.
I'm with you in spirit, because that's not my number 2, but I definitely recognize how great of a job Capcom did with that game. My number 2 game is a bad game, and I wouldn't recommend it to people if they ask me.
House Party.
Because it's not a game. Honestly, the game is not a game. The game is an experience, and if you're up to play a different experience, something you haven't played before, and you're ready for something that could potentially, blow your mind and be cool and all that, then you gotta be playing Death Stranding.
That's true.
Yeah, Death Stranding is my
Wow.
definitely number
Number
two.
two.
I
However,
love your description of it.
yeah, however, be mindful that if you want to play a game, this is a bad game. Do not play Death Stranding. Death Stranding is not for you. All right? Are we clear on that?
I think so.
That sounds pretty clear to me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like I told Mad Dog. I always expected this game to be weird. I don't know why people are so surprised that it's divisive. It's Hideo Kojima Unbound. This was going to be weird.
So,
Anybody
but
thought different?
I think I think I think you believe that, but you're not ready. Like you have to see it to
Oh,
realize. Oh, I see why. Because it's a level of Kojima that it just makes you go back to Kojima and be like, "Come on, bro! Like, okay, no, you overdid it. Come on, this is an exaggeration. This is too cuckoo. You
oh,
went
I get it. I understand. I don't understand what the game is at all. I get that. Believe me, to me, it's a complete enigma. I get that. But I knew that from the beginning.
yeah, yeah. Well, this one is sir. Wake up. Time for you to give the number one.
Hey, Mad Dog, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. My
He's
number one,
disappointed.
guys, is it's a shame. Here's the crazy part. It's not even a shame. It's just the crazy part. This has been my number one game
Uh,
for the majority of the year.
I should
I can
know.
call
Uh,
it right now.
yeah, I'm sure you guys can, and
I
that
should know this
is
game.
Sekiro, Shadows Die
Yes.
Twice.
Yeah, buddy.
Wow.
I had this awesome moment that it was so amazing that I had to capture it on video, even though the audio is a little skewed because I'm actually in the chat group. It's happening during a chat group, and I am not paying attention to nothing that anybody's saying because I am laser focused on a battle fighting, and I never in my game life felt like badass, and I felt very. That is my most proudest moment. I,
Hold on. Give a second, because
Mad Dog,
are you okay? Are you
you're
alive?
I
over there.
think your microphone is having a heart attack over there. You might want to check on it.
I think it's because you are like kicking bricks over there, or I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
I was gonna
But
say I thought that was on your end.
stay still. My dog is talking. All right.
Oh, you're
Damn,
fine.
son.
All
So it
right.
is
Again.
one of the most badass moments that I've ever had in my gaming life, where I literally deflected. This is a ball. First off, there are small people that can skewer you quick and move on. You know what I mean? It's just this is not an easy game. It is not meant to be easy, and I get how people feel about that. But let me tell you, there is no better satisfying moment than when you literally put together a awesome battle against something that has been destroying you for at least 30 times. And I know that sounds bad. I know that sounds probably like something no one ever wants to do, but this game does it so well. There is the fact that you do have to grind a little bit. That you do have to, do things so you can level up and all this. The game is awesome, and it takes place in this beautifully well designed Japanese world, and I will definitely share the video that I'm referring to again because when it was. It's it's tunnel vision, right? You have tunnel vision. You are in the zone. Whatever the term you use when you get to this point in gaming is where I was, and it was just spectacular. And I have not had anything since that happened this year, and it's wonderful. I still have that game. Like I have like Death Stranding already uninstalled. Freaking Control already uninstalled, and I will install it again when the DLC comes out. But I have not let go. I cannot let go of Secure because it has given me some of my best gaming moments. So yeah, Sekiro, number one game of the year. Period.
Wow, that was amazing.
Confirmed by the Game Awards also. Game Awards, Game of the Year.
Honestly, didn't even see that coming. If I was a betting man, I would never have bet on Sekiro winning.
Well, to me, my 2019 Game of the Year goes to Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh my,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
And now
Nice.
this is a massive game that I haven't finished. I'm up to like 56% of the story, and I poured dozens of hours into this game. Of course, that's mainly my fault. I tend to deviate from the story a lot.
We just stop skinning animals and focus here, sir.
Well, I mean, you see, but that's the beauty of this game, though. And I said this story before about finding this cabin that got struck by a meteor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is
Mm-hmm.
just
I remember
so
you telling me.
absolutely random. And that's the
Yeah.
beauty in it. I love it. Like, the first time I saw a mountain lion and that freaking thing just came at me and swiped me and killed me,
Mm.
it was not a fun experience. I was terrified.
Shit. I got mauled by a bear, so I know what you mean, sir.
Okay? You panic. You start pulling out shotguns and shooting at bears and shit just to, like, you don't want to die. Fuck the
Mhm.
perfect pelt. This thing needs to die now. You know?
The perfect
That
belt.
is
Love it.
amazing. Not to mention the story, which of what I played so far, the characters and the character development, of Arthur Morgan.
Hmm.
It's just amazing. Like, I really do like this character.
Yeah, I can agree.
So yeah, that's my game for 2019.
Wow.
Nice,
Game
sir.
of the year.
You guys have
All
some
right,
good
sir.
choices.
Mr. Santos, you have the final award, sir.
All right. Wow, game of the year. What is the game of the year? The Webster Dictionary defines game of the year as the type of game that you have enjoyed the most, regardless of its
My
ups and
God.
downs.
Oh my God.
Um, I oh, you already see where this is going?
I'm scared. Is all I'm saying. Is I'm scared.
There has been some fantastic games that have come out this year, and some fantastic games that have come out that I have not played. Red Dead Redemption is one of them. I'm not into the whole cowboy scene, but I do. Obviously, I have to accept that that game is gorgeous, and the universe, the world, the craftsmanship of that game is unparalleled. Maybe only to Witcher 3. And if I had to pick my game that I enjoyed the most this year was actually Witcher 3, but it's the game that came out this year that I enjoyed the most. And guys, I'm gonna have to go with the Division 2.
Oh,
What?
wow.
Yes.
Left field. Okay.
Did not see that coming.
The
Mhm.
Division 2 was a game that I will be at work and I could not wait to get off work so I just could go home for some reason and get into it. And I know what you guys are thinking. This is another fucking gas game. Well, game has service. Another game with bullet spongy humans and all that jazz. And hey, I admit it. I honestly don't understand exactly why was it that I was into it, that much, and that I still think about going back to, um, even though a lot of people that used to play, with me now, I'm not, they're already past that game, and I also there was some argument, some complaints about some of the aspects of that game, specifically what it had to do with the Dark Zone, which I didn't venture too much into it. I went a little bit, but to a lot of people, the Division 2 is the Dark Zone, you know. And to
Mhm.
me, is a story, and it wasn't even that great of a story. If it could even be called that, it was kind of disappointing. But the gameplay loop had me hooked for
Nice.
months. And that is the reason why, at the end of the day, even with other games out there, even with Devil May Cry, even with Death Stranding, I have to give it to Division 2 this year. To me,
Nice.
not to
Oh,
anyone else.
hey, it's your
To me.
personal. It's your personal game of the year. That is a great choice. It's a great
Yeah,
choice, and it's still a game that's being played a lot, and has a great following. Awesome.
that's
All
fantastic.
right, guys, we did it. We got our game of the years out there. High fives all around.
All right,
There
all
you
Yay!
go.
right.
That's what I'm
High
talking
five,
about.
Chaos.
High
Yeah.
five, Chaos.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys, to an awesome episode 191, the real 191. As always, please go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there, and please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Mr. Chaos Reaper.
Yes, feels good to be back in this chair. It's nice and warm now.
Yes.
Yes.
Chair.
Finally, Jesus Christ, that hiatus was killing me.
Confirm.
So, yes, guys, I'm glad I managed to put some sort of list here. It's,
last minute, very last minute. Don't worry.
It not just that it was last minute. Again, it's like the sparse game that I managed to play. Even though I did watch a lot of videos about a lot of different things. Spent a lot of time on YouTube.
That's all right. It's your list. It's your personal list, and it's a good one on top of that. All right, Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister, take us home.
Oh, yes, and congratulations to Sekiro for being GG's official Game of the Year 2019. Yes, official. I declare it. That is the Game of the Year for GG to Sekiro.
To Sekiro. Cheers.
Cheers. All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
GG!